And now, from Glasgow.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Good evening.
Get ready to the countdown.
So good evening, everybody. How are you all? Sorry, I've just seen a comment just pop up. Sorry. Yeah, hi guys. So welcome to tonight's show. Unfortunately, we don't have a Natasha at the moment. I have absolutely no idea why. I can only make assumptions. Maybe she's not well. Maybe her carer's popped in. I don't know. So she may be with us later on. She may not. But I have a fairly good substitute. Here's Dale.
Hi, everybody. All right, there we go.
So you're obviously working on something. Would you like to give us a twizzle?
Yes, it's.
Let me just get the right view. You know, I can never get the right camera angle. I'm trying to make you big, not me. For some reason, that's not happening. There you go. We'll use that one instead.
Yeah, that's good enough.
There we go.
It's a diamond art, and it's of a big rig, I think they call them, or semi over in the States. Thoroughly enjoying it. It's really coming together nicely, this one.
Nice. Have you been doing many, or is that your first one, or have you done loads?
This is only my second one.
Okay.
If you give me 1 second, I can show you my first one.
How as many seconds as you want. We're on for a few hours.
There we go.
Oh, that's nice.
It's the Dragon one.
That looks like it comes with a few AB drills as well. There's little sparkles in it.
Yeah, no idea. It took me a long time. I think about 50 or 60 hours into that one.
Yeah. And how fast would you say you work? Would you say you're about average, or?
Yeah, this other one seems to be going a lot faster.
Right.
It's more block colours, so you can lay them down a bit quicker.
Yep.
Such as the blues and that, they're all one colour.
Yes.
There's a lot.
Yes. So blocks do help, don't they? I mean, I like. See, blocks, if you do write all the same colour, you'll get through it a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Do what we call confetti, it'll take longer, but oh boy, can it be frustrating sometimes.
Yes.
You know, I tend to do sort of 10-centimetre blocks, and if you're using like 20-30 different colours within that block, it can really grind you down.
Yes.
But you know, sometimes I'll work on 2 different areas at once. So I'll do a bit of block in one area and I'll do a bit of confetti in another. Just depends what mood I'm in.
Yep, absolutely.
I really need to bring some diamond paintings with me just for moments like this when I've got nothing else to work on.
Yeah, I find it quite therapeutic, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think that goes back to my days when I used to do cross stitch.
Yeah. Well, this is one of those hobbies. I tried it during lockdown, and there was a few friends were doing it, and I will be honest with you, I thought it was a little bit silly and a little bit pointless, and doesn't really do that much. And a lot of other people were trying it. I thought, well, look, I'll get a little cheap one. It wasn't a high quality, but it was a diamond painting, and the rest, as they say, is history. So yeah, never judge anything unless you've actually given it a go. That's a lesson I've learned quite a lot in crafting.
Yep, absolutely.
Right, bit of comments coming in. Hot Rod Rodney, Hi, people. I'm in Connie's stream. This is the problem I seem to have. Whenever I stream, it always seems to go over someone else's stream. So, you poor buggers, you have to choose which stream you want to watch. But, I'm actually talking of which, we're trying an experiment at work. I've had a word with the allocator and I'm looking at maybe having a set day off and working late shifts. Working late shifts in exchange for a regular day off and possibly having to do a day's overtime. So there will be one stream a week, but it will be the same time and it will be every week. Because as you know, sometimes I just can't stream because if I'm doing an early and then a late, then a day off, and then an early the next day,
Yeah.
I can't stream because I have to go bed. So it means I might have to do a little bit more work, but it means that I'll get a bit more regular time off, and then that way a certain day will become my day off.
Yeah.
I might still end up streaming over somebody else on that particular day, but at least I'll be regular. David Markey says evening Penny, and then he says evening Natasha. Obviously, we hope Natasha does come in. I've not had any messages from her to say sorry, I can't make it. And usually, if she can't make it, we will get a message. Well, I'll get a message from her. So I just assuming she's overslept or she's running late or something. David Mark says evening, folks, and then David says hello, Dale, and then David Peterbilt lorry.
Yes.
I,
Yeah, it is, I think.
well, but that's the only lorries. What do they call those? Full long nose lorry, long nose truck.
Kenworths.
Kenworth. Yeah, the only one I really know is a Peterbilt. So I would always say Peterbilt as a guess. Have you been working on anything else?
I've had a delivery for Seniors Tribute Build.
Lovely. Oh, that means did you get your some man's model moments?
I've not ordered them yet. I've run out of money.
Oh, bless. Let's just hope your next payday is just around the corner.
Not sure.
No, we see I've ordered, but I've not got any notification that I've received it. Now, obviously, I'm away from home, so I don't know if it's arrived, but I'm really looking forward to getting cracking because I'm doing a 1969 Chevy Camaro, which I'm told was a car that Terry used to own. So I'm just going to do it. So I've never done a car before. I might make a complete balls up of it.
This will be my first car as well.
Nice. Do you think a lot of people are going for the cars?
Yes, I would imagine so. I know. I don't know if you've seen Lord Peter's unboxing video.
Yes, he's doing something to do with a train, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing something a bit different.
Yeah, because obviously, like, I didn't know Terry that well. I knew him just enough, just a little bit, and I've seen the impact he's had on the community. But one thing I do know about him is that he seems to be a bit of an attitude of just get the kit out and get it built.
Yes, yeah. I've met him a couple of times on a couple of Connie's streams.
Yeah. I kind of think that if you build anything you want, whether it be a ship, a plane, a car, or whatever,
yeah,
as long as you just get your ass into gear and get it built, then that's fine. Even if you don't do the decals, I mean, I'm doing the decals as well. I'm just going to use possibly a couple of them plus the registration plates. I'm going to keep it sort of a little bit simple. Sorry, I'm going to do a chat catch up because I've just seen a long comment that I want to respond to. So, Crafting with Judy. Hi, Penny. Hi again, Judy. How are you? We were just both watching. I don't know if it's still running, but we were watching MP's stream on thinning paints. Quite interesting, actually. But don't all leave now and go and watch it. Watch the show and then go back. David Markey says, hello, Judy. Kenneth says, afternoon from Atlanta, Georgia. Can you please tell me what 65 millimeters is in inches? I was asking because I don't want to make a mistake cutting my wooden strips on my Flying Dutchman ship. Right, let's have a look. It's not one of these things I can answer off the top of my head, so I do have to look up Dr. Google. 65 millimeters in inches is 2.559 inches. So I don't know what that would translate to in cutting strips. Maybe cut it 2.6 inches. Actually, what I'll probably do is go for 2.6 inches, fit it, cut it to length. I don't know how many strips you're doing, and if they're all exactly the same length, cut one strip a little tiny bit too long, keep trimming it down until it fits absolutely perfect, then use that strip as a template to cut others. Does that make sense, Dale?
Yeah.
And we've got more chit chat coming in, which is always good. Teresa says, hi, Penny, Dale, David, Markey, and Judy.
Hi, Teresa.
David Markey says, hello, Teresa. Crafting with Judy says, hi, David. And that's the chat caught up with. It makes a change, doesn't it? So what am I going to work on today? I have absolutely no idea. As you're all lovely people, I'll do a little bit of a spoiler for you if you want. Right, so Kit after hi Teresa. Okay, thank you. I saw the new Ghostbusters movie yesterday at home for free. Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I have an app. It's like the TV thing, but they did some changes to it. I think it was to do with an Android update, and I've got to spend some time updating it. But I can watch various things on it if I want to. Although saying that, did you watch TV yesterday, Dale?
I watched a bit of it, not a lot.
What did you watch yesterday evening? Because I thought the choice of TV, especially for Saturday night, was absolutely amazing for a change.
What did I have on?
Because you had clashing all at the same time. You had Casualty on BBC One, which I think is a reasonable show. BBC Two is just, I call that sort of the semi-adult channel because they do some serious stuff. Can't remember what they had on 3. They had Top Gun 2 on, which I thought was a bit.
Oh yeah, that's where I watched Top Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they had a thing on. They had a thing on the next channel about is it Edward and Simpson in the Bahamas, and I was watching that and I thought that was really interesting. Meanwhile, on I think it was ITV2, they had one of the older Harry Potter movies, which I've seen like a zillion times. But
yeah, they're streaming again tonight.
Yeah, are they doing like a big series or something? Yeah. Kenneth says, I have an Android stick that plugged into the side of my TV. With my Android stick, I can watch movies that are still in the movie. Yeah, just don't let people identify where to get you, because if the naughty catchers are out there, they'll catch you.
Yes.
So yeah, just be careful. But so I don't mind admitting I watch TV when I'm in the hotel, because the hotel has its own TV license for its guests. So apparently, unless someone can tell me that I'm wrong, because I don't have a TV license and I don't watch TV at home. I've studied the rules very, very carefully. It turns out I'm not doing anything wrong. Obviously, this applies to the UK because different countries have different rules, but there's nothing against the law owning a TV, not having a license. There's nothing against the laws watching catch-up TV. There's nothing against the law about using your TV for a games console. You only need a TV license if you watch TV while it's streaming, while it's actually live, what they call live TV. And that does include the +1 channels. If you're watching +1 channels as they are broadcasting, that is illegal. The only grey area that I have is the catch-up channels. Sometimes they will put a show on a catch-up channel while it's still being broadcast on the channel. So what I always do, just to make sure, I make sure the TV program's finished showing and then watch it on catch-up,
Yeah.
just to make sure. Because if you need a TV license to watch it an hour late on another channel, surely you might need a TV license to watch it 5 minutes late on catch-up. So if you're watching TV with a TV license, just without a TV license, be a bit careful. Make sure you play within the rules, and everyone will be okay.
Yeah.
Daz Faulkner says, "How do everyone?" So how are you? So, Dale, I've just spotted a couple of space shuttles and what looks like a launch pad on your desk. I'm assuming you're a bit of an interest in space.
Yep, these are Academy kits. Lock slots onto the back. On there, it's all ready for priming. It's all built together. It just needs priming.
So, what scale are they?
1 to 288.
Okay.
So
Still sizable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still not bad.
Yeah, because I'm working on. I'm looking at maybe doing a space shuttle at some point, but I'm working on the Apollo 11 for Revel,
playing with it,
and it comes with the plane as well.
Yeah, they're 2 different kits, but they're all the same colour scheme. So what I've been doing, just build them up and then paint them both at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do.
Well,
you have a choice, don't you? You could build a 747 and then you can build the shuttle, or you can just do them side by side.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that Apollo 11 that I'm doing, I have to keep looking at it because I have to read it off the box because I hope I don't get the numbers wrong. Absolutely terrible kit. So much work to do on it.
So that's Ravel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got the Concorde I'm building as well, but that's gone back in the box.
Oh, I've got the Airfix Concorde 1 to 144 scale.
Yeah.
The main reason I bought, well, there's 2 reasons I bought it. One is that this is the last flight of Concorde as it come back to Filton.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it as it came into Filton. I lived just around the corner at the time. Oddly enough, on a road called Filton Avenue, which runs huge length all the way from Bristol city centre all the way to Filton Airport.
Yeah.
And I remember I just happened to have a day off. I knew it was coming in, and I went down to Filton Airport and watched it come in. The other reason is I can't remember who it is now. It's HPH or something like that. They do a 1 to 48 scale Concorde.
Wow.
And yeah, and it's not a big plane, is it? The Concorde.
No.
But I think it's one of these kits that would definitely benefit from being 1 to 48 scale. I don't know whether to get that before or after my 48 scale B-52.
Yeah.
Because that's the dream for me. I think that's one of the biggest kits you can get in 48 scale. So
B-52, is that the Super Fortress?
Yes, that's the big one. Yeah.
I'm not up on my military.
No, it's fine. It's quite interesting that what people are into and what they know. Right, Daz Faulkner says, "How do everyone?" Gary T says, "Good evening, all." Gary T does. "I'd love to do a Gemini kit before Apollo. Not sure if they still do them."
No idea.
No, I don't either. See, you say you're not up to your military kit. Space is really not my expertise at all. The only reason I know about the space shuttle is that it's in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So, Smith Speed says, "Hi, Penny Dale." Smith Speed says, "Hi, all." David Markey says, "Hello, Mike." MP Model Plastic says, hello, Pennies and Dale and all in chat. Smith Speed says, hi, David. Hot Rod Rodney says, hi. And then MP says, Hella have the Concorde in 172. Good kit. Yeah, I've got the Airfix. I'm sure it's 144 scale. The box
Yeah,
is
that's what
about
my
that
scale
long.
is.
Yeah, but I'm told it's not a terrific kit, so I'm putting that off just until I've got a few more kits under my belt, and then I'll have an attempt at that. Plus, it's white,
Yes.
and white is not the best color to paint. David Markey says, hello, Rodney. I'll tell you a totally different but interesting story. So I use two types of primer, but I've now started using a third. My normal everyday black, white, and grey is Stylorez, which I decant into a small bottle for the hotel.
Yep.
Now, with regards to what is the best primer, I've kind of taken a bit of a sitting on the fence stance. I used to use Vallejo primer, and I didn't get on too bad with it, but I got a little bit of spluttering from it. And someone had looked at some zenithal priming that I'd posted on Facebook, and they said, "Oh, try Stylorez primer." So
Yeah.
I bought one, and I thought, "Yeah, this is really, really good." To the point that I actually got rid of my Vallejo primers, and I've been using Stylorez ever since. Now, watching the debate about what's the best primer, you'll get so many people will say Vallejo is terrible primer. You'll get people that say Vallejo is the best primer ever. And then obviously you've got those that say it really doesn't matter what primer you use, it's how you use it. Use the primer properly and it'll do all right for you.
Yeah.
So that made me think. I switched primers round about the time when I was a bit of a newbie with an airbrush. So it may well be that I wasn't very good at using the airbrush when I used the Vallejo primers. And at the same time I switched to Stylorez, I suddenly developed a bit of skill in the airbrushing. Quite possible, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm one of these kind of people. It takes a lot to get me to change if I'm happy with something. So oddly enough, MP's just put I use AK is very good. I'm actually in the process of, I've just bought some AK primers and I think they're lovely. And the reason I think they're lovely is they brush on very well. I find a lot of primers they're a bit wishy-washy when you brush prime. But anyway, going back to the Vallejo, a fourth primer that I have for when I'm doing metallics is their gloss black. Now, I have not used Vallejo gloss black primer in a long, long time until today. Do you know what? It would not go on very well. It goes on, when you use Airfix Humbrol paints and you slightly over thin them and try to paint them onto bare plastic and the way that they split.
Yeah.
That's exactly how this Vallejo primer went on. Whether it's gone off or it's reacting with the plastic, I don't know. And I don't think it's the plastic because the primers have gone on. The other pieces in the sprue have all gone fine. So, it's not the cleaning or anything. I got it on eventually. I just had to put multiple coats on, but it was really difficult. So I wonder if Vallejo are not very good, especially with this particular type of plastic. So MP says, but depends on the primer, Penny. You can use water base, but can use two synthetic automotive like in the cars. Very good too. It might also be because I do thin my primer just slightly. It just helps it with my. I haven't got it with me. It's in the bathroom because I've cleaned it. I've got one of those battery operated airbrushes. And I don't call it an airbrush, I call it a paint chucker, because that's all it does. It's a single action, battery attached to it. You pull the button, the air and the paint comes out. So I don't think it deserves the name airbrush. It's just a paint chucker. So I do have to just thin it down slightly. And then I've got my little cheap Chinese one, which I swear by this. Cheap Chinese ones, I just love them. I don't care what anyone says. I just think they're all right. They're not. I mean, they're some of the more expensive ones. They're easier to clean. But I chuck boiling hot water down it to clean it, and it does the job really, really well. But yeah, with primers, I don't know. I don't know where I stand with primers. So, but yeah, MP says different Is that dilution? Yeah, dilution.
Yeah, darling. Yeah.
So to waste a bit of time, I'm going to give you all a spoiler, and I'm going to show you what I've been working on. So if you watched my update video last time, I'm going to steal most of the big screen, Dale.
No worries.
I hope you don't mind. And once again, I put myself on little, haven't I? Come on. It says drag to reorder. There we go. Right. So if you watched my last video, not today, the update last week, you'll see that I said, well, you won't see that I said it. You'll hear that I said, I'm going to be doing my video slightly differently now. Instead of making a video, then releasing it, and then put myself under pressure to make more videos, I'm going to record the whole series. And I'm not going to release video 1 until I've actually finished the last one. So I have been working on. Oh, bear with me. I always keep things just slightly out of reach. So I have been working on this. This was a gift from Peter Webster, which is greatly received. It's not the expensive, flashy one that I bought recently, but I thought this would be a better one to build as my first course there. I have a very basic looking Matchbox one as well. Now, I've made 3 videos. One is an introduction and unboxing, and the other two are build videos. And I'm not really super bothered about absolute precise colors. So, for example, that's my interior color. I think it's probably completely wrong color, but it looks like an interior of a cockpit, doesn't it? Interior color. So I'm not unhappy with it. And it's complex in places, lacking in some, super detail. Oh, Lord Peter Webster just pops in, look. Where are we up to? Lord Peter Webster says, hi, Penny Tash. Tash isn't with us at the moment. She may be with us later. Hopefully she will be. MP says, I work very well with an expensive airbrush, 45 euros, very cheap. Yeah, I mean, look, if you swear by an expensive airbrush and you use an expensive airbrush, absolutely fair enough. I do have an when I say I have an expensive airbrush, I mean I have an Iwata Eclipse. It came with an intermediate airbrushing set, which was about 150 quid. You got a little small Sparmax compressor with it, and you got the airbrush and all the relevant hoses. I've upgraded my air compressor since, but I've kept the airbrush, and I do like that airbrush. But most of the time, I use cheap Chinese brushes as what I call paint chuckers. This particular one, it comes with 3 needles, a 0.5, a 0.3, and a 0.2. At the moment, it's got a 0.5 in it. But if I want to do like super detailed work, I'll use the 0.2. Since I've been on an airbrushing course and I've learned about air pressures, I swear by this little device there, and that will adjust your air pressure. So I might purposely over thin my airbrush my airbrush mix, and then I'll just turn the pressure down so I can use. So you'll see a lot of times I do accidentally overthin my paints.
I might have to
Athol,
look at that gadget because my air compressor's fixed. I can't adjust the pressure on it.
right? It's I don't know what the technical name for it is, but it's just. Let me show you. Is that going to come off? Doesn't look like it will. Why are you not coming off?
I think that'll just be a quick release on it.
Yeah, I don't think the quick release is part of it, or maybe it is. Maybe the quick release is part of it. I'm not over keen on quick releases because I've had a few before, and you tend to find they leak air. But this one doesn't seem to do so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all it is. It's about a fiver. Call it a tenner. You got it for a tenner. It'll
Well,
be
it's
fine.
cheaper than a new air compressor because the compressor itself's all right. It's not too
Well,
noisy either.
my hotel compressor, the one that I use at the hotel, that's got a pressure valve on it as well. And this is quite embarrassing, but I only discovered that a few weeks ago. Just do that and it reduces the pressure.
Right.
And I did not realize that until about a week or so ago. But what I normally do is I just bang that up on full and then I'll control it there. And then
Yeah.
on my air compressor at home, I've got a little adapter thing, a 3-way adapter. It came with it, so I can run 3 airbrushes off one air compressor.
Mhm.
Recommended to only run 2, but I'll only ever use 1 airbrush at a time. But what it means is that I can run 2 separate airbrushes. I've got one that looks like very similar to that, but it's just got the straight hose on it. And then I've got another one that looks the other one I've got has actually got the adjuster actually on the airbrush,
Right.
and I have a 0.4 needle on the one that isn't adjustable, and then I've got it's either 0.3 or 0.2 on the adjustable one, so I can use the non-adjustable one for like base painting, priming, stuff like that, stuff
Yeah.
where accuracy isn't as important. And then if I want to do either really thin coats or I want to do detailed work, I'll use the second brush. And of course, don't forget this. I have on, well, one of my airbrushes. This came from a company whose name I can't remember, but it really does help. First, some of these Chinese ones, they're not manufactured smooth. And if
Yeah.
you do this a long time, it really does hurt your finger. And this wasn't cheap. It's actually the postage that kills you.
Yeah.
But the guy actually sent me a couple of bits extra, including an extra one of these. And I said to him, if I knew you were going to send me the color that I think it looks like he'd made one with all the little bits of rubber, you get little bits at the bottom of the tub and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think he just chucked it all in together and just slung it in. That's what it looks like. It had about 4 or 5 different colors, and it actually looked really nice. And I did say to him, I go, if I'd have known you had that color, I probably would have ordered that one anyway. But I do love my little holder. Anyway, that's not getting through things. Where are we up to? So, evening, Penny, David, Markey, Rodney, Mike, and Tasha. Hi, Rodney, Kenneth, Judy, Daz, Gary, Manuel. Hi, Athol. Athol McNichol says, hello, Teresa. All good at yours. Mike at the sink doing the washing up. Don't know what they have on a Sunday. I know it's takeaway on a Saturday, isn't it? Athol says, evening, Manuel. Smith Speed says, hi, Athol. All done. Just trying to do order now. MP says, from my experience in watching lots of videos of airbrush, the point is the difference between the materials and the material they use in fabric. Then that's why different costs. Yes, it's also the manufacturing process. Here's a little trick for you. I might have to do another video. If you get a cheapy Chinesey airbrush, and you take the needle out, you'll find it's a little bit rougher. Companies like Thingy and Steinbeck, what they call Harder and Steinbeck,
Yeah.
Iwata, etc., they manufacture those needles to a much higher standard, whereas Chinese ones they're not. You'll find they're quite rough. What I've done, I've got another Chinese brush, the very first one I bought probably about 10, 15 years ago. And what I'd done is I took the needle out and I put the needle in a Dremel, and I got a bit of kitchen roll with a little bit of, is it Auto Sol? You know, the metal polish you can buy.
Yeah.
And I know this isn't an airbrush needle, but if you put it on like that and you turn the Dremel on a fairly low speed and just run the Auto Sol up and down the needle, it polishes it and it smooths it. And if you spend, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes just doing that, don't ever let the needle go, because the centrifugal force of the Dremel will send the needle doing this and you'll bend it. So always keep holding it and just run up and down like this for 2 or 3 minutes, and that's probably about the equivalent of an hour of hand polishing it. And you end up with a needle that's probably as good as an Iwata needle, because it's much more smoother. Yeah, I'll say my Chinese brush is every bit as good as my Iwata. Right, that's the system quick release valve, and the bottom control the flow of air. GWR Buckley Junction says evening all. Now I've got this right this time. I've been practicing. Lord Peter Webster says hi, Sean. Is that right?
Sean.
Oh, Sean. Oh, that's right. I will remember. Do you know what? I'm going to put a big post-it note on my laptop, and the post-it note is going to say Sean. DWR Buckley's hi, Peter Matey. By the way, guys, Lord Peter Webster's released a video today. I haven't got my quick button things, but he's done a lovely little unboxing. So I would urge you to pop over to his channel and have a little look at it. I love his unboxings. Just think they're great. I love people buying presents, and it's almost like I've bought that present through him. Connie's in the house. Hi, Penny, Tasha, friends in chat. At the top of the channel up there is a link if anybody wishes to join us. When I say usual rules apply, what I basically mean by that is I need to know you. So if you've never mentioned anything in the chat before and you wish to join us, just type a few little things in the chat. Let's get to know you. You know what it's like. It's a big world out there, and there's a couple of odd people out there that just like to come in. And
Yeah.
I did watch a video live stream once, and they let this guy in that we'd never seen, and let's just say he played a video on the stream that was just a tiny bit blue, and that was dumbed down a little bit. GWR says, hi MP. Gary T. My airbrush killed my fingers, so I recently got one of the well, I can recommend this. Trigger Happy. If you do a search on Trigger Happy airbrush grip, there is a video on my channel reviewing them, but you know I release a zillion and one videos. It'll probably take you all day to find them. Google Trigger Happy. I don't get a commission from them. I wish I did, because I think they're absolutely brilliant, and all they are is just a lump of rubber that goes around your airbrush. But the absolute difference it makes, the only problem is the postage, because I remember when I ordered one, I think the postage, I ordered 2 of them because the postage was about 2 or 3 times the cost of the actual grip. And then he sent me a message saying, I feel really bad about the postage cost, so I've chucked you a few extra bits in. And he chucked me an extra grip and a few stickers. So when I finish setting my desk up, his sticker will go on my cutting mat. I don't use it to advertise. I just use it for companies that I've used that I'm happy to use again. MP Model says, hi, GWR. Lord Peterworth says, hi, Athol, Teresa, Mike. MP says, hi, Lord Peter. GWR, I want an airbrush. Well, I would suggest go and get one. They aren't expensive. Well, the top of the range ones are. But a basic airbrush, I think you can do a lot with a cheap one. Teresa says, hi, Connie. Athol says, hello, Connie. 2 streams at once. GWR, very close, Penny. I was. It began with S, didn't it? Athol says, evening, my Lord Peter. Lord Peter says, hi, Connie. Hi, Connie. Athol, just lurking here, computer playing nice this afternoon. Well, you're always welcome, Connie. You are on that fairly small list of people that are always welcome on my stream, no hesitation. MP says, a tip, when cleaning the needle, always clean in the same direction, forward, back. If you see a little bend at the point, you can repair sanding the point in rotation. Don't need to buy another one. That is true, but if that needle is just slightly out, your airbrush isn't going to function. So I would add in there, if you're not 100% sure, just get rid of it and get a new not get rid of the airbrush, get rid of the needle. Although I believe a needle for an expensive airbrush is a lot more expensive than the entire new cheap one, which is one of the many reasons why I always say start. Right, so kind of, how people go, oh, just get good equipment, it'll last you longer. Otherwise, you're just buying twice. I think that doesn't apply for airbrushes. I think get a cheap airbrush, one that you can afford to damage and ruin, but it'll still last you a long time. MP says, hi, Connie. Smith Speed says, hi, Connie. And we are caught up with chat. So going back to me Corsair, I'm rather pleased with the way it's turned out. It's one of those kits where some bits are really nice and some bits you're a little bit, oh, that's not so good. So this is the cockpit that I've done. Now, this is all out of the box except for the seat belts. And even with the seat belts in, it's still a long, long way from being realistic. Why they put so much detail down there when you're not going to see it, I do not know. The decals, sorry, the instrument panel of decals, I could not line that decal up perfectly. So you've actually got recesses in the panel, and it's supposed to conform. If it wasn't for this stuff, I'd have had a hell amazing. I've never used this on a uneven surface. Oh, what just happened there? You right, Dale? Yeah, I don't know if that was you or me. It could have been me because I'm not on the best Wi-Fi here. So it's hard to notice, but those decals, some of them, there's one there. You'll see that the back end has conformed to the surface, but this is on an upper surface. I did put some gloss varnish on it over where the dials would be, but I can't get the light shine to show you. I think there's a little bit of shine. So there is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decals in there. The little red bits I've added because I just thought that made it a little bit more interesting. Whether that's accurate or not, I do not know, but I think it looks nice. the backrest. The problem with this kit is there's no proper color call outs. It doesn't tell you a lot of the colors to use, so you have to kind of do a bit of research. So that pad there, I've done that rubber black. I've just added a couple of touches of silver there. I've done some dry brushing on the side, but I'm happy with it. And then this is a very complicated mechanism for the tail wheel and the arrestor hook. I think the wheel is supposed to move because you've got this little bit there, but I glued it in because I'm going to have the wheel down. And this piece here is absolute nightmare. Whoops, it doesn't help that I just dropped it. That is an absolute nightmare. That's 4 pieces. You got this piece there, this V shape there, then these bits, and I must have test fitted that about 20-30 times. When I dry fitted the fuselage, the fit was so good, it actually pulled it off. So this is meant to glue there. So I've gone with that. So long as that stays put and I don't move it, it will line up. Like so. Do have to be. I think I've done the arrestor hook just ever so slightly too far up, because it naturally wants to rest inside the aircraft. So when I come to glue it, I just have to make sure that's out. And then I've just dirtied that wheel up a little bit with a bit of wash. And now comes the fun bit. This will probably make you laugh, because this engine is absolutely amazing. And this, believe it or not, is out of the box. There is no modification to this whatsoever other than the painting. You've got 2 big bits of engine there. Then you've got all of these piping bits that come down. And then I've just painted some individual bits. This bit on the front, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. This bit there, I have no idea why they did that so detailed. And I'll show you why I'm asking that question. Now, this will go in very, very nicely into the nose, like so. And there is a locating tab, and it goes in like that. And does that not look absolutely amazing? And I spent hours on that engine. And anyone who's seen my Facebook post will know exactly what's coming next. And you know what's coming next, don't you, Dale?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Watch what happens when I put the nose on. That's all you're going to see. And please don't say, oh no, I've done a double cock up. I have done a double cock up. I've glued that. I'm going to have to pull that off, because I didn't put. I thought I'll glue that on, save me losing it. I didn't put this bit on. I have already done. I've done the editing starting to do the editing for the video, and I put a little bit that says it's at this moment she realised she cocked up, because when I glued the wing together, you're supposed to pre-drill the holes, and I didn't drill the holes. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to try and pull this off now while I remember. I don't know how without ruining it. Anyone got any ideas of how to remove glued parts that have been set for quite a while? Like that. So what I was supposed to do was that bit goes into there, and then that goes in over there. And then does that go up or down? There is a locating tab on here. Yeah, that's not right. Oh, it's probably melted the locating tab. Or is that it there? That's not it. That should go there. There you go. No. That definitely goes that way. So yeah, that's how it goes on. I don't know how long, if that's too long. I have a feeling it's too long, but yeah, it is nice. If I was a lot more experienced, I would definitely be looking at cutting that open so that I expose the engine, because that is a really, for an out of the box, that is a fantastic engine, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, I was looking at, I was preparing myself to add extra wiring to it. I've seen a couple of online builds, and they've added extra wiring to it, and I thought, yeah, fair enough. Let's add some extra wires to it. But when I actually built it, I thought, nah, I don't need to, do I? I really can't see where I'm going to add the extra wiring to. And actually add something to the build. There's no adding all these extra parts is great, but it's got to actually add something to the build. And I think this such thing is going too far, but I'm happy with it. And now that I've just removed that blue bit, I'm extra happy. I can't believe I forgot to put that in. Right, I'm trying to figure out where we are on the chat. I think we are. Right, let's start here then. So, hi Connie, hi Mike Teresa, hi MP Plastic, hi Smiths, hi Lord Peter Webster, bracket Shirley. Yes, I'm starting to forget why we call him Shirley, but I know there's a reason, and I've got a terrible. Where's that just come from? Oh, right. Don't lose that part, Penny. Yeah, so I'm happy with the build, but this is all going to be in video number 3, the engine, so probably going to be a long time coming. But like I said, the new style of doing videos is that video 1 will not be released until I finish making the last one. Let's put you back on. I've hidden you up, Dale. It's not really fair on you, is it? Marcus Stone says, good evening, everyone. Athol says, buy a cheap airbrush and learn how to use it for many different applications. And when you feel safe with it, either buy a better or stick with what you have. Well, yeah, I will agree with that 99%. Buy a cheap one, learn how to use it until you feel safe with it. Then buy a better one, and then use your cheap one as your workhorse, and then use your better one for more detailed, better, more exquisite work. Exquisite seems to be my word of the week, by the way. But yeah, just because you got a better airbrush doesn't mean that your cheap one will become obsolete. MP Model Plastic says, hi Marcus, hi Dale, evening Dale McSee. David says, hi Connie, hi Athol, hi David, hi Peter, and hi Lord Peter. Connie says, hi Lord Peter. David, Lord Peter says, looks awesome, Penny. MP says you can cut the cowling with a scriber, then put open option. Yeah, I can, but I'm not going to, because it's not something I've tried before, and I don't really want to try it on a model that was a gift. If I'm going to try and do stuff like that, I'll go out and buy a cheap model, one that I can afford to actually muck up. But I do agree, it does look awesome to see the engine. MP with electric wire, it's very real with some photo reference. LOL Mike. Yeah, I've looked at photo references, and I think if I do need to add any extra wiring, most of it's just going to be added on the back here where it's not going to be seen anyway. There isn't an awful lot I can do for the front. There isn't that much serious wiring that isn't there. I just find it interesting that Hobby Boss has done an absolutely wonderful job on this engine, and they've not really done much detail. That seat is just two parts, and that's it, and it's quite plain. Um, a critique is if you're going to do that with the engine, do a bit more with that. Put a lot of detail into something you're not going to see, hardly any effort in the parts that you do see. That just seems a bit odd to me, but doesn't ruin the kit. Lord Peter Webster says, "LOL, Mike." Lord Peter says, "Hi, Marcus." Paul Christopher, evening, fellow modelers. Yes, Athol, I did that and just bought a new airbrush for a bit more than the very cheap one. Just as long as you get to use it properly and learn with it, it's fine. I mean, I don't know where you are on the airbrush scale. You may be an extremely experienced airbrusher, and you may feel you just need a cheap one as a workhorse.
I just tend to use it for blocking in colour.
Yeah. See, when I wasn't good with airbrushing, the cheap one sort of suited me because all I was doing was priming and base colors and blocking in stuff. It wasn't until I started doing like black basing I started to do. So you paint everything black, then you put in like random squiggles of white.
Yeah.
Then you have to get your airbrush paint very, very thin to build up that color. So instead of going, say, two or three layers of paint, you're going maybe 5 to 10 layers because you're building up that gently.
Yeah.
And your cheap I thought my cheap airbrush just wasn't up to the task. It turns out it was. It was the air pressure that I needed to fiddle with. And that's when I decided to get my new air compressor. But even the air compressor, it's not the air well, obviously you need to adjust the dial, but I can't be bothered doing all the dial for different tasks. So that's why that little thing. And so long as it's not spluttering and it's not spidering, that's why you have a bit of kitchen roll with you to paint on before you start. Are you much of an airbrusher then? As in, if someone came to you for advice, could you give them a lot?
Not at all. I'm very much a beginner.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Lord Peter says hi, Paul. Teresa says hi, Paul. David says hello, Paul. Lord Peter says I started using an airbrush doing custom paint jobs on motorcycles I restored. How good are you, Peter? Can I come to you for advice? I don't know where I stand because I acknowledge that I tend to what's the word I'm looking for? If I rated myself, I would rate myself probably a little bit too low. It took me a long time to admit that I'm no longer basic. I'm actually intermediate, but
yeah.
I think I'm probably definitely intermediate with an airbrush. I give advice on the basis that there could probably be someone out there that's just about to jump in with better advice, making mine null and void, and I have no issue with that. If I give someone advice and someone else gives better advice and my advice is ignored, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So yeah. Right, I suppose I better try and do something, hadn't I? The only thing I can really do anything on is the Mustang, but that's mine and Natasha's build. Lord Peter says, "I'm a make it looks as good as I'm." Yeah. Actually, that's the standard I'm going with, of course. There, I do say in my video along the lines a couple of times of, "Is it correct? Probably not. Am I happy with it? Yes." So That's all that matters as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I seem to be picking up coffee stirrers all the time. I pick them up from the hotel because obviously when we have coffee in the mornings, they give us stirrers, and now I'm inundated with stirrers. So I was actually going to use some. I meant to do a little bit of a demo. On one of my Corsair videos, I state about the reason wings were bent, and the reason they're bent is at the time I thought it was something to do with the propeller, which it is, but it's also to do with the landing legs, because the bent wings. Sorry, without the bent wings, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to show it off very well. Let me change my video angle. Right, so this is the front of the Corsair, and this is the propeller that's going to go on. As you can see, that's a huge propeller in relation to the size of the aircraft. Don't know if you can see it very well. And that's obviously to make use of that really powerful engine.
Yeah.
But with those propeller blades being really long, you're going to have to extend the landing legs, or the propeller's going to have to hit the ground. So this is why they've bent the wings. But it is also to do with the landing legs. Now, this is a demo I was going to do on the on one of my videos, and there we go. Right. So imagine that is the normal length of a landing leg, and you can see it's got a bit of flex in it, can't you?
Yeah.
Now, if you made the legs longer, look how much more flex there is. And how long is it going to be before that snaps?
Yeah.
Yeah. But as we say, that one is too short. Now, if you go even smaller, there's so much more strength in there. And then if you could make your landing legs like that, that's really, really good. But that was the demo, and I forgot to do it. And I just know that someone is going to make a comment on video 1 saying about the legs as well. But I'll have to see if I can get that into my third video. Yeah, so Peter says, yeah, I do like that style of modelling. I'm happy it's done.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
It's like we keep saying to Tash, as long as you're happy with it yourself, and job done.
Yeah. Well, Natasha seems to be sort of a mixed bag of things modeler, isn't it? I think that's what makes her happy. She doesn't get bogged down with any one style of anything.
No, that's
so
it.
she can't really get the burnout so easily. Because that's the bad thing, isn't it? When you start doing the same thing all the time. So I might just put you on big, and we'll watch you today.
That's why I've started moving about, doing different stuff. Because predominantly I was 3D printing, and then the 3D printer's gone down now. So
right. Have you
started
got the PLA 3D printer, or have you got a resin printer?
I've got both.
You've got both. So I'm looking in. I've got some 3D printers which I'm going to be sorting out. But I'm looking into one of those resin ones.
They're good,
but
they can be messy, smelly. You need a lot more stuff than you actually realise to do all the washing, curing.
Right.
You'll need to wear a respirator because it's quite toxic if you breathe it in.
Right. So maybe save it for when I get the loft sorted out.
Yeah, as long as you've got good ventilation.
Yeah.
No, that's the main
Well,
thing.
I could put it in with the new spray booth I'm building, because that's going to have an extractor fan.
Yes, yeah, anything like that will be spot on.
Yeah, but I think I might just actually put it in the attic. It depends. I mean, the PLA 3D printers, they give off a lot of heat, which is obviously handy if you're in a cold room, because you've got 3 or 4 printers going on the go all at the same time. You really don't need to put your heating on.
Yes, that's why I've not been doing the resin printing for very much, because it's been cold and
Does that not work so well in the cold?
not so well.
Right.
You can buy them with heaters in nowadays.
See, I just thought it was all to do with lasers and things. I didn't think it was the heat that affected it.
It's the resin. If the resin is too cold, it won't cure and stick to the
I suppose
build plate.
does it change the consistency of it then?
Yeah, a little bit.
Right. Sort of same principle as oil, is it? It oil's a lot more runnier if it's hot.
Yeah, if you leave it to sit in the vat as well, which you shouldn't do really, but I've had some sat in now for about 3 months. I'll need to just totally get rid of that altogether and
Right.
give the machine a good clean. It should have come out when I stopped using it.
Yeah. Lord Peter says there's no such thing as a perfect modeler. It's meant to be enjoyable and not self-criticize of our level of building.
Correct.
Fair point. Fair
I'll
point.
agree with that one.
So what he's done there is he's just told me off in the Peter Webster way for saying that I'm not as good as I am, and actually giving myself a level. I think that's how I've read it. Peter Webster's a little bit like my dad in that he'll tell you off without actually telling you off. It's like when I first told my dad I had a motorbike, and his reaction was something like, "Well, I'm not really happy with motorbikes." And I'm like, "I'm not getting rid of it, Dad." Well, I do worry.
My mother exactly the same.
Yeah. But he wouldn't say you're not to have a motorbike. It's just the way he says it. And then for the next 2 weeks, you just feel really guilty every time you ride your bike.
Yeah.
But that's what dads do, though, isn't it? They make you feel guilty about doing dangerous things. That's the one area I differ with my dad, is that I just think, go out and do it. Enjoy yourself. And if you're doing something dangerous, be careful or live with the consequences.
Yeah, to be fair with motorcycles, it's not yourself as a rider, it's the other road users. You've got
Oh,
to
tell me about it. Yeah. Lord Peter says it's like curing glue. If it's cold, same principle. Yeah. And then he says it's the nicest way, Penny. Yeah, no, I agree. And you are the nicest person, Peter.
Indeed.
I tell you what, I bet he's the best granddad, isn't he? I bet you his grandkids are well behaved, but at the same time, like, he's probably got like these rules of the house, but not so many rules that his grandkids don't like coming to visit.
Yes, and I'm sure there's always a treat or two sat waiting.
Yes. You've been very good, so we'll do this.
Yep.
I remember my friend's kid, I used to take him out at the weekends, and the first thing I used to say to him is, if I ask Mummy if you've been good, what will she say? And sometimes he'll give me this little look, and I'll go, well, that doesn't look good. So I used to make it a rule, if he's been good, he can go out.
Yeah.
And I just used to take him random places that didn't cost it. To be honest with you, he just liked going out in the car with Penny. So we'd find little places he could go that didn't cost too much money. Oh, yes. Don't you come running home to me if you break your neck. That's it. Yeah, if you fall off that wall and break your leg, don't come running to me. I think that was one of the ones, wasn't it? The first thing my granddad kids say to me is always, can I have a surprise, please, Granddad? But it's not a surprise if they're expecting a surprise, is it? Unless it is surprise. Or how about this? Nothing. Surprise.
Hmm.
I'm going to try and do something, but I don't know what to do, Dale.
What about those new books you've got?
Oh, new books. Yes. So I forgot to mention these in the update video today, so I will try to remember them in next week's update. Dale, I can't find them. Bear with me a sec. I will find them. I've got a feeling everyone's seen these anyway, because I think I showed them off in another stream.
I think you did briefly, but not the.
But I'll show them again. So I actually have 3 books now. So Thursday, it is extremely rare for me to have money beyond. I get paid on a Friday, and it's very rare that I have money on a Monday. So I went out Thursday with 20 quid in the bank, which is extremely, extremely rare, until I went into WH Smith's and I saw these. So I have this book on the Dam Busters. I haven't read it yet, and I don't know, between the books I've got with the Hong Kong kit and the little bit of research that I've done already, I don't know how much new information there is. There's some pictures I've not seen before, but it's still a good book. And okay, do you know what? He's a rather handsome man, that Guy Gibson, wasn't he? Was that a condition of being in the RAF during the war? You've not only got to be a good at shooting down planes, but you've got to be good looking as well. Or is it just the black and white of the photos? So yeah, nice book, and that's my favourite, because obviously when you've got, we all know the name of his dog, and if you don't know, I'm not going to say his name because I'll probably get my channel shut down. And I'm like, oh, I wonder how they'll tackle that title. And they put Guy Gibson with his beer drinking black Labrador dog. And I just think that's perfect, isn't it? And oh, I thought he was buried with his. Can you remember where his dog was buried? It's nearby, wasn't it? Because wasn't he buried just as they were supposed to be striking the dams?
Yeah, my military knowledge is not up to it, unfortunately. I'm sure somebody in the chat land will have an idea.
Yeah.
RAF Scampton.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but yeah. I don't know
time.
where Guy Gibson's buried. Look at that.
Well, I'm just going to go and roll myself a cigarette.
Yeah, no problems. Are you a runawayer for cigarettes for smoking, or?
I smoke just in one room in the house.
Right. No, that's fine. So this is the all of the operations flown by that particular aircraft. Obviously not Guy Gibson. Look at that. Just love that. Obviously that's the yellow on the tips of the thing. But oh, there you go. I've learned something new. So the lights, I'm getting the motor and light kit for the Lancaster. Now, I've seen the YouTube video of it, and they've got blue lights. And someone had left a comment about the color of the lights and the fact it has lights. And I always thought they used red light at night time because it can't be seen. It can't be seen as well, or it can't be seen from the same distance as a white light. White light is a no-no because obviously that can be seen from a long way. And I wondered whether the light should be red rather than blue. But I think that picture confirms it now, doesn't it? So at least if I do my lights red and someone says to me, I don't think they should be red, at least now I can say, well, look, there's my reference photo. That's why it's red. And then at least then it's not, it may not be right, but at least it's not wrong. So there you go. So this book has no, oh, bear with me a sec. Sorry, I did not expect that call. Call you later. Streaming. Unless. Sorry, someone's just rung me, and if I don't respond to them, they'll ring again. So yeah, so this is the Dam Busters book. This is available in W.H. Smith's in Stratford. Other W.H. Smiths I do not know. But yeah. I know I'm missing comments out. Hobby Time says, don't forget it's a restored Lancaster. Yeah, but one of the questions then would be, why have they done it red on the restored Lancaster? If it was white on the restored, then I would say, yeah, okay, you don't need a red light for a plane that's not actually in wartime. So there must have been a reason why they've chosen red. But I remember when my stepdad's ex-RAF, and he was explaining why things are all red rather than white. Oh, I love this. So this picture there, the caption says Richard Todd as Gibson with the Army mine detecting dog, which had the same name as Gibson's dog. Todd kept the dog as a pet for the duration of the filming. That's another good way of avoiding the actual name, wasn't it? So yeah, so I will read this. To be honest with you, I'll probably read it on the train home because I've got 9 hours to kill. So this is the next magazine I got. It's absolutely of no use at this exact moment, but this is one of those books that one day I'll probably refer to it, so it's good to have it on the shelf. Same price as the Dan Busters book, 10 quid. And this is all about the various Bristol aircraft, and I'll tell you exactly why I bought it. Trying to think, is it page 24? An aeroplane that I may be getting, which is currently on pre-order, is this, because Airfix are about to bring out the Bristol Bulldog Mark. I think they called it a B, but it's basically the same thing. And one of the schemes is this squadron there, 17 Squadron. Now, the actual aircraft that Airfix are doing isn't, well, I can't see it's one of these. I can't see beyond this one. I can't read any of the registrations. There's 9 planes there, but I can't see the registrations of those. They're just too far. So this is perhaps one that I might do. I've got the Tiger Moth, which I want to use the Tiger Moth to practice rigging. Rigging is something that scares the hell out of me. But if I want a nicer model, I'll have to learn how to do it. Now, something like this is going to be really helpful because you can see exactly where all the rigging is. But look, they even tell you the difference between these two posts there. I'm sorry about the focus, guys. So this one is called the rear interplane strut, and this one is called, ready for this, the front interplane strut. So it tells you everything. This bit there is the aerial anchor point. 81 is the rudder frame. 79 is the upper rudder hinge. It's just so much detail on there. and then any other Bristol aircraft they bring out. And I'm actually seriously considering subscribing to these because they publish six times a year, £42.99. Given that I paid a tenner for this, look, £9.99.
Well, that's a good saving, isn't it?
Yeah, but to be honest with you, I'd pay £9.99 for every issue. So if I can get 6 issues for 42, that's a bargain. The only thing is, I want to. This is issue 72. I want to see how many back issues I can get and what aircraft. Because thing is, you don't know what you're going to be making in the future.
Yeah.
I may have. I'm just going to pick one at random. So I may have absolutely no interest in this, or it may not be available to buy as a kit.
Yeah.
And then maybe in 3 years' time, this kit comes out, and I go, oh, I got a magazine on Bristol aircraft. I wonder if there's anything in it that'll help me.
Yeah.
So, we go. Got some. You got a Blenheim, a Beaufort, a Beaufighter, and a Brigade, which I can't open the page. Here we go. I'm trying to open it on the wrong side. So you got some color schemes there. No, I wouldn't say this is a sole use of research. Like everything, you know, you want to go for different research, different bits of research. But yeah, I need to look them up. Seriously considering subscribing. I mean, 43 quid a year for some pretty decent magazines. But there's quite a few magazines that I want to, because this is the trouble. I get magazines and they got some really nice information in them, but not necessarily relevant to me at the time. And then, sort of number of years later, suddenly it comes up and becomes relevant.
Yeah.
Mike's just sent me a message. I'm sure you don't mind me sharing this. So that is the dog's grave. And he said underneath, plans to relocate the grave of a dog. I love it when they avoid the name and the way they do it. Plans to relocate the grave of a dog, which was a mascot of the Dam Busters, has been refused by councillors. The 617 Squadron's mascot, a black Labrador belonging to Commanding Officer Guy Gibson, and died on the day of the raid of the German dams in 1943. The RAF applied for planning permission to move the grave from RAF Scampton, as the site is to be used to house asylum seekers from August. But councillors rejected the proposal at a meeting on Wednesday evening. That is actually terrible. That is absolutely awful, I think.
Yeah, priorities are a little bit wrong there.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to comment on the use of the area, but if that's what the area is going to be used for, how much are they going to appreciate that as a memorial?
Yeah.
Why not move the memorial to somewhere where it's more memorial, like wherever 617 Squadron are based after Scampton?
Yeah.
Anyway, right. No idea where we're up to anymore on the chat because I've left it. So we'll start here because I know I read this out. The first thing my grandkids say to me is always, "Can I have a surprise, please, Granddad?" And then David Markey says, "Surprise, here's the bill." LOL, David. So RAF Scampton, hi Hobby Time. Hi Hobby Time. Hi Teresa. Hi Hobby Time. Hi Lord Peter. Hi David Markey. Hi MP. Hobby Time says hi MP. David Markey says hi Gordon. Hello MP. Hi Teresa. Hi Dave. I'm going to skim these, I think. Oh, there we go. Don't forget it's a restored Lancaster. Yes, I mentioned that. Yeah. The dog was buried in the grounds of the Grade 2 listed Hangar 2. Now my understanding of grade. Sorry, Dale. I've kind of stolen most of the screen.
No, quite all right.
my understanding of listed buildings is that they can't be knocked down, but you can still use the inside. You can still renovate. So, for example, that hangar could be turned into a block of flats, so
Yes.
long as that exterior stays the same.
Yeah.
Um, David Markey says red light helps save on night vision. So Smithby's picking PM. Talking about lights, Penny, for example, the P-47 Thunderbolt have the lights red, green, yellow by order in the under right wing. Is that, though, the landing sequence thingy, though? Because my understanding from building a Spitfire is that you have like a code of the day. So you have to display this light sequence. And if you get it wrong, the ground crew will shoot you down because they think you're an enemy. Does that sound right to you, Dale?
It does.
The Viewfighter is very beautiful. I have the M1 to 48 Tamiya. I would agree. I would put that on the list of aircraft that you don't know if they're not beautiful or they are. Do you know what I mean? It's pushing that boundaries of being ugly, but that is its beauty.
Yeah.
I was watching a video about the. Oh, we have a Penny's pit stop. Hello,
Hello.
are you all
Josh.
right?
No, I haven't been fully right the last couple of days.
I did wonder. I just assumed you weren't well because yesterday you messaged me beforehand. Today you didn't, which suggests that something wasn't right.
It's neurology stuff going on, and when I don't get this feeling often, but when I do, it kicks me quite
Oh,
badly.
bless. I see you got your little sensory lights on. Are they doing anything for you?
Yeah, they're doing a little bit for me.
Good.
When I
Well, I
get
got very excited on the day that I came to London because I
Did
found
you?
the remote control for my lights. Well, because of you, I've been using my lights a bit more.
Oh,
But
have you?
they are quite nice.
Yeah.
The only trouble with mine is because they go straight up. They don't really work so much if you put them near a wall. You really want to put
You
them
need
into the middle of a room so you can
you
light the
need a
whole.
twisty one like mine then.
Yeah, yeah. Or one like your little astronaut-y robot-y thing.
Go
'Cause
for the astronaut. They got a
yeah,
white or a black one, and I went for
and
black.
I just like the way that it makes it look like you've got measles. I do like.
They go on and off them stars, but they do eventually stop.
No, it's right. I mean, I'm not, I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to buy another one. I just bought it to see what it's like. It's quite nice. And
Yeah,
when people come round my house and they've never seen one, they go, "Oh, that's nice." There's
yeah,
a bit of a conversation point, but yours is a little bit more than decoration, isn't it?
yeah.
So, yeah,
It
we've
helps
not.
me with what's it called, sensory stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I'm borderline autistic, apparently.
yeah. That's fair. Well, it's not fair enough, but it's fair. You know what I mean.
Whatever that means. I've never heard of a borderline one. I thought either I am or I'm not.
Um, to be honest with you, I have this theory that autism and related autism, I think it's a big scale and everybody
Yes.
is on the scale.
It's
Yeah.
massive. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
massive.
it is a massive scale, and like I might be like level 5, and you need to be like level 60 before you recognize it as actually, being autistic.
Yeah.
Because things like OCD and stuff like that, you know, everybody has everybody has an OCD tendency somewhere,
Yeah,
but not to the point that they have OCD. I have a few little things that are really not significant. Things like I like to check the doors locked 2 or 3 times. I think that makes sense. That's not necessarily OCD. That's being careful, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
I like to eat sweets in threes because 3 is a lucky number for me.
Mine's 7, but I'm not going to stick 7 sweets in my
You can
gob.
always try. I'd like to see you with 7 gobstoppers in your mouth.
No, you're
Um,
right.
But no, there's things that could be classed as OCD, but because they don't negatively affect my life, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind being autistic because they hate people, don't they? And they don't like to
I
be
do.
around people.
Yeah.
And that's me.
I haven't been around people now for ages.
Yeah,
Well, my odd friend come round.
I'm quite happy driving a bus with no passengers on board.
I'm just
I,
quite
I
happy
am.
sitting there doing my own things.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
that's how I'm like all the time now.
well, today, the only reason I've left the hotel is to go and have a cigarette. If I was allowed to smoke in my room, I wouldn't have even left my room. And I don't have an issue with that.
No.
When I go home,
It's a
unless I'm
shame they
going,
don't have like certain smoking rooms though, because just for that odd person that smokes.
no, it's
But
I like this hotel because they actually have a separate smoking area. They have
okay,
2, and they're just you got to go out and then you've got to go round, so you
yeah,
don't get all the smokers crowding around the entrance.
yeah,
I do feel for the non-smokers. They used to walk into areas that didn't stink of cigarettes.
yeah,
Now they've got all the smokers crowding out, and they've got to walk through the smokers to get in.
yeah.
So in that
I
sense, it's
agree with that.
worse.
Leaving them.
But I don't have a problem with not being able to smoke, so long as I can smoke somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Smoking areas, you know. So yeah, no, I don't have a problem. And I mean, they chuck someone out. Well, they didn't chuck someone out of the hotel. They've got this regular user, and he's been caught smoking again in the room.
wow, really?
And yeah, yeah. So they're fining him 150 quid, which he hasn't paid. He decided to run off.
Yeah,
He says I'm off to the cash point to get money, which we know he can pay by card.
yes,
But we knew he was never going to come back, and he hasn't. But he's a regular at the hotel, and he has now been blacklisted from Booking.com
wow.
and from the hotel, all for the sake of a crafty cigarette.
Mhm.
And this is my argument I had when I was at Travel Lodge. Yes, the temptation is real for me to have a cigarette in my hotel room, but is it actually worth it?
No.
And I always thought that, because I was talking to my manager about it, just sort of having a cigarette outside, chit chat.
Yeah.
And I was just under the impression that if I got caught smoking in London, that's the end of London for me, and I'd have to work at Scotland all the time. And he went, no, he goes, that'd be the end of you at Stagecoach.
Really?
Yeah, because that would be gross misconduct.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you smoke in unauthorized places on Stagecoach property, and because Stagecoach are paying the bill for the hotel, they
Yeah.
could class that as unauthorized area smoking in a Stagecoach property.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
So, and is it really that hard? My room is 20 paces from the lift, and this is my 3rd stint here, and it's the furthest I've ever been from the lift. The first time I was right next to the lift.
Yeah.
So for the sake of 20 paces to the lift, press the button, go down 2 floors, and walk about 30 or 40 paces to the front door. Is it worth it?
Well, it's worth it to go outside, not inside.
Yeah, I think. Anyway, I'm going to do a quick chat catch up. MP is going to do the desert version in North Africa. Do you know, I want to do a few, what do they call them, trops? Spitfire trop and Hurricane trop. I might do a couple of them just for a different colour scheme. Is that something we can tempt you with, Tasha?
The what?
A tropical scheme rather than a standard REF scheme.
I'd give it a go, but I wouldn't say I'd be perfect.
Well, I think you'd be as perfect as an REF scheme, because it's exactly the same as doing an REF scheme, just the paints are a different colour.
Oh,
So instead of
right.
doing
Yeah.
brown and green, it might be a sandy colour and an earthy colour.
Well, someone commented on my Mustang post. I can't remember where I posted it, and they're doing their colour scheme different to what the Mustang is.
Yeah,
They've
because
got a red tail and stuff like that.
oh yes, is it silver with a red tail?
Yeah, it looks
Right,
like the middle hadn't been painted.
right. So Mustangs are an American aeroplane, which was also used by the British. We're doing the British version, but 90%, 95% of Mustangs are American. Is that fair to say that, Dale?
I've no idea, in
Well,
all honesty.
the vast majority. It's a little bit like saying the Spitfire um, is primarily British, but you'll get, say, an Australia Canadian version.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So obviously the main one, we're doing one of the not so common ones.
yeah.
Most of the Mustangs were silver, and anyone is welcome to correct me on this. I think the reason that they were bare metal, like the bombers, was because they were trying to build them so quickly and get them out so they could get fighting the Germans that it
Mm,
just saved a lot of time to not paint them.
yeah,
And what's the point in spending all that time painting a bomber and then it gets blown up on its first mission?
Yeah.
definitely.
So I think that's why they were bare metal, but I might be wrong. That isn't guaranteed
Yeah.
fact. Now the red tails were absolutely. I want to build one myself as a red tail. That's the Tuskegee Airman.
Mm,
Up to about the 70s, there was segregation between blacks and whites.
yeah,
They couldn't. They didn't even allow black people to fight in like the normal squadrons.
Yeah.
So they had
wow,
to have their own squadron of black men, and that was
wow.
just exclusively. Well, back then, forgive me, this is what the word was at the time. They had what they called coloured squadrons.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not allowed to use that word now, but that's what it was used. The word that was used back then. And actually, they were a damn good squadron.
Mm,
I read somewhere that when the B-17s were being escorted, they'd take off and then they'd be escorted by a fighter squadron. If they saw Mustangs with red wings, they knew they were safe because apparently they didn't lose any bombers when they were on bomber escort. Um, so, but yeah, really, really look it up. Tuskegee Airmen, absolutely,
okay.
fantastic stories. Um, Hobby Time says they've taken the name off it too. Oh, have they really? Can you imagine actually that grave being near what did we say, an immigration centre?
Yeah. Asylum seekers, aren't it?
Asylum seekers. Yeah. So yeah, can you imagine asylum seekers coming over and then they see this grave and it says in memory of a word that I'm not allowed to use? I bet that'd cause up a big old stir, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can imagine why they took that name off. Lord Peter Webster says hi Tash.
Oh, yeah.
Smith Speed says Natasha. Hello Natasha. So do you believe me now? This is the effect you have on a stream. Chat goes mental because you've just turned up. Dream big, build small says hey builders. Lord Peter Webster says hi Dream. MP says hello Natasha. Hello
Hello.
Corey. Hi Dream Big. And Dream Big says I want to pop in and show some support. Well, that is appreciated.
Thank
Hi
you.
Dave. Hi Dream Big. Hi Tash. Hi Teresa. Lord Peter Webster, I can't cope with odd numbers, even counting. If I have
Yep.
even number of chips, do you know what? That's one really bad thing with me. If I'm eating, say, for example, a bag of Maltesers, I'll eat them in threes. Now, if I get exactly divisible by 3 in the bag, that's fine. If I get 1 or 2 left over, I can't eat them, and I'm
Yeah, I've got to
like
have
that.
even. I can't stand odd numbers. Really can't.
I have found a way round it though. if I've got 1 or 2 left in the bag, I can buy another bag, pour that 1 or 2 into the new bag, and then I can eat them. But yeah, I'm a bit of a funny one for threes. The only thing I don't eat in threes is peas, as I ain't counting peas on my plate.
I don't have peas.
Do you not? I
Sometimes.
love peas. That's my
Yeah.
favourite vegetable.
Saves me counting them if they're
Do
even.
you count as well?
Yeah, I've got to have everything even.
Right. See, I know one of the traits of autism is they have to have everything on the plate separate and it can't be touching.
Yeah.
Because I looked after a lady, she was like that. And one of her interesting little things was Muller yogurts. When she had a Muller yogurt, used to have to teaspoon to remove the top layer of the yogurt and throw that away. Then with a clean spoon, you scrape the yogurt out, put that into a dish. Then with another spoon, you scrape the top layer of the corner, usually like strawberry or something.
Yeah.
Throw that away. Then with another spoon, you scrape the fruit out, put that into a bowl, but not touching the yogurt. Then you have to give her 2 spoons, one to eat the yogurt with and one to eat the filling with. And to her, it's quite normal. To me, it was quite strange.
It will be.
Yeah, because I'm just like, right, yeah, tip it in, get it in there, and get it at. So yeah. John Alec says, "Hello, friends. How are you, John Alec?"
John.
Lord Peter. Hi, John. Hi, John. Hello, Lord Peter. And hiya, Peter. Enjoyed your unboxing early on. See? Now, I remember Peter saying about he's had a bit of criticism about his unboxings. And my response to that was, well, I actually enjoy your unboxings.
Yeah.
I do like seeing things that he buys. And sometimes when he unboxes things, it gives me ideas.
Yeah.
For example, color shift paints.
Yeah.
I've used them before and I never really give them a second thought. And him unboxing his color shift paints reminded me of when I had some before. And I'm actually now looking at maybe doing some figures. And I'm going to buy a figure that I can use a color shift paint on.
Yeah.
Or I might even do a what if aircraft. Can you
Mm.
imagine a Vulcan bomber in color shift paints? But yeah, as I say, people do enjoy his unboxings.
Yeah, I do.
John Alex says, hi, Teresa. Hello, John. Cheers, John. Appreciated, bud. Hiya, David. Hello, John. Hey, John. Hey, Manuel. Hi, Penny and all. Hiya, Corey. Hi, Harvey. Oh, Harvey, how are you? Harvey says, Tasha. Peter, hi, Harvey. Dream, hi, Harvey. Hi, Harvey. MP, hi, MP. Hi, MP. It's the same with the vaping. Can't vape in hotels or B&B. Totally agree with that. I think the rules for vaping should be exactly the same as cigarettes.
Yeah.
If you can't smoke till you're 21, you can't vape till you're 21. And I don't know. I think maybe people who vape should carry big signs warning people, because there's nothing worse than walking along and you think, oh, I can smell candy floss. I fancy a bit of candy floss now. And then you get round the corner and it's Bill with his big cloud of lies. So I think there should be a big sign. Warning, what you smell is not what you're going to be able to buy. Harvey says, Teresa. Lord Peter says, Dolly Doubter in the house. Stop it, Tash. You are becoming a great modeler. Yeah. I think that's in reference to the colours. Just because something's a different colour doesn't mean you need any more or less skill for it. But I think we should stick with that name, Dolly Doubter. Because I'm losing count of the times when you said, "Oh, I'll give it a go, but I'm not sure," and you've done a good job.
Mm.
You need to start saying, "Yep, I'll do my best." I see the film Red Tails. Very good. Do you know what? That film is terrible. Have you seen it, anybody? Dale, have you seen it?
I've not now. I know of it, but I've not
It's a
seen it.
little bit comedic and a little bit what's the word I'm looking for? The German pilot he's very evil and very characteristically German. Not characterist. That's the wrong word for it. Like cartoons and how they portray bad guys.
Yeah.
He would probably be more suited as an adversary of Danger Mouse or something.
Yeah.
That kind of person. And I mean, I kind of get the reference that at the beginning you get this airman. He comes along and he shoots the German airfield up. And when this German pilot sees that he's a black man, he's really, really wound up.
Yeah.
That bit I kind of agree with because that was the Nazi ideology. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yes.
No idea.
Yeah, close enough. You know what I mean. God, that's a big word for this time of night. Desegregated by the Korean War, thankfully. Do you know, it's quite interesting that was just normal back then, wasn't it? And then once they evened things out, you then look back and you think, Christ, were we really like that? Because the British were like that as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
Some black pilots flew with Corsairs. I didn't know that. Hi, Mike. Hi, Tash and Penny. Don't forget Dale. Dale's on the show today. Hi, Dragon Queen. And hey to all the others. Hi, Britta. Hi, Dragon Queen. I'm the same, 2 at a time. Any odd leftovers go in the bin. Oh, good. I'm not abnormal then. Because if Peter Webster does it, that makes me normal.
There's 1 or 3 left. It's going in the bin.
Well, yeah, well, hang on. No, if there's 3 left, you can eat 2, can't you?
Yeah.
You can only eat in evens.
True.
So there you go. So we just saved you throwing 2 sweets in the bin now.
True.
Lord Peter says, hi, Dragon Queen. Hello, Britta. Chat's just flying in. Look, hiya, John Alec. Steve131 says, evening all, and a wave. We get a wave as well. Hi, Steve. How you been, bud? Dragon Queen says, oops, also hi, Dale. I wasn't being serious when I said that. I wasn't telling you off. Lord Peter Webster, evening, my lad. We are good. Right, I'm going to ask you for a favour, Tasha.
Yeah.
I'm going to disappear for 10 minutes because
Okay.
Dale's been for Siggy and you've been for Siggy. I think I deserve a turn, don't I?
No.
And I've not had one for over 2 hours. So, Tasha, tell us all about, I would say since the last time you streamed, but that was probably like 10 minutes ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I know how you stream at every opportunity you get. Penny, what if you eat 3 sweets an even number of times? That's fine. That's fine. I can eat three sweets an even number of times. I do feel rather good if I get 9 because I see 3 as lucky. So 9 would be lucky by lucky to the power of lucky.
Yeah.
So 9 is a really good number, but 3 is. But see, I think 3 makes sense because 3 is a very strong number. You get a 3-sided triangle is a very strong structure. If you then add 3 sides to that to make a pyramid, that's an even stronger structure, isn't it?
It is.
And threes and military maneuvers. You go in three, so you've got like a what is it? I can't remember. 120-degree vision between the three of you. You've now got 360-degree vision. So three's a good number in military maneuvers. Three's just good in everything. In fact, I never even spotted this until I just now mentioned it. So this picture of the Bristol, what was it, the Bulldog?
Right.
Let me see if I can find it. There we go. So that picture of those planes, if you look, there's three formations of three.
Oh yeah.
Which is a very good way to do it. So that's just why three is. So anyway, guys, I am going to go out, but only for one cigarette, not for three. Three wise men. Right, and I'll try and remember where that comment is. But yeah, I'll be back very shortly. Don't forget, I can still hear you. I'm going to mute though.
Oh, great. So we can't talk about you. That's not fair, man.
You never could, Tasha. I've always been able to listen.
I know. I might do it just for the fun of it now.
How you doing then, Tash? You alright?
I'm alright. It's just the last couple of days my head has just been weird.
Yeah.
I've only managed to do one stream this morning with it, and the only thing I can really concentrate on, not even that, is the blocks.
Yeah.
I've got nothing for the Mustang to do at the minute till this subsides. But when I get it big.
Yeah.
It's a sensation of it as well. It's so weird. No one would believe me unless they get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, yesterday I slept most of the afternoon away. Today I've slept most of the afternoon away and evening.
Oh yeah, it was gone 1 o'clock, I think, by the time I woke up this afternoon. Missed all the morning streams.
And then my carer came in just before, woke me up.
Yeah.
And they have to put down on it, so I had to wake her up.
Yeah.
Mickey's shouting. Oh, what's up with my Mickey? All right, Mickey, I'm coming. I can hear ya. They've not long gone to bed either. All right, Mickey, I can hear you. Mickey. What's the matter, Mickey? What's the matter, my girl? Are you okay? You stare at her phone. You okay, my girl? What's the matter?
She wants a bit of attention.
Hi, Minnie Moo. What's the matter? She's shouting me. Are you okay? You okay? That's a good girl. She's a clever girl. You're a clever girl too, Minnie. I can't miss you out. Do you want this lower? Oh God, what's that? What's the matter with my Mickey? What's the matter with my girl?
Right, where we at?
Bye, John. I've only just seen it. Take care. Right, you okay now to leave? Yes? Or do I have to stay? Hey? I'm going in bed, Mickey. I suffer from a rare form of migraine from the brain damage. I suffer with migraines quite a lot, but I get double whammy. I
Yeah.
had a major head injury, and apparently mine are linked to fibre at the same time, so I get double whammy of migraines. So I know how you feel, Peter, on that one. Hope she don't call me again. Did everyone hear her call me? She's so cute when she calls me. Shouting.
Is my mic picking this up? Can you hear it?
Don't know what you're doing.
I've got another YouTube channel open. One of my 3D printing guys is offering a free printer.
Oh God, Penny's back.
I get called God a lot and Jesus. A lot of my passengers, when they get off, they go, Jesus.
Yeah, they're probably thinking you're gonna crash them.
Have you done chat catch up? Or should I do
Not
it?
on all of it. I've
Okay.
had Mickey shouting me. I think it
Okay.
came up on
I'll
live.
the other day I see a documentary, The Mustangs Protect the B-17. I then they make contact with the ME-262. It was a shock, no match to date planes. Yeah, the ME-262s, if they had been introduced earlier in the war, I think it could have turned it a little bit. Not saying that they would have won the war. You do see a lot of stories about, oh, this is the mission that won the war, and that's the mission that won the war, and obviously it was all contributory. But
Yeah.
I think had certain missions or certain aircraft not happened, it would definitely have slowed the war down. So Smith Speed said 3 wise men. Where are we up to? We're up to. You'd have things happen in threes.
Bad.
Not bad. Say that, don't they? Things happen in threes.
Yeah.
But I've had two bits of good financial news. So if things happen in three, I can't wait. LOL just went out. That's what I call it. I go out for some fresh air. Except it's the furthest from fresh that it could ever be, isn't it?
Yeah.
I cut my hand once and had to have stitches. She stopped at 9 and made her put another one in or take one out. I can imagine you doing that. The Bulldog was a very good plane, slow but very resistant. Now, is it slow by today's standards or slow by the standards of planes back then? Oh, the Bulldog, sorry. Yeah, Bulldog. Bulldog. I'm thinking of something else. I suffer from a rare form of migraine from the brain damage.
Just
Ooh,
spoke about that one.
right. We wake up to shite days. Take care, Tasha. Yeah, it happens. It's funny. I was thinking about this yesterday. If I was streaming with someone who would just be like, oh, basically, if I was streaming with me, the sort of person that would just, oh my God, I'm sorry, I overslept. I'll probably be like, yeah, I think I need a backup co-host. But with Natasha, because obviously we know there's a good reason for it.
Yeah.
Did that just come out really bad?
Oh
I don't know, I didn't mean to anyway.
Really?
Right. I've seen this name before and I think I butchered it before. Fly Mode Chairman 1. No, I don't recognize seeing that name before.
Oh, don't you? I do.
Did they come from your channel then?
They have. If I remember rightly, they were in the stream when you couldn't make it.
Ah, that'll be
But
why
I
I've not.
know of the person anyway.
Right.
I just
Good
call
person
him
or
Fly.
very good person?
Very nice person.
Very nice person. That's all right then. Well, that'll do me
I
then.
just call him Flymo.
Yeah,
I'm sure
that's
it was
fine.
him.
I think I have nicknames for most people I know.
It was in Connie's stream earlier.
Right. MP says slow by the standards back then. Sorry. Flymo says hello there at Lord Peter Webster. No, you're doing fine. I presume that's a reference to something you said while I was away. No, I just came in now, but you're doing fine anyway. Yeah, I recognise yourself, but not your name there. Oh God. Now Penny back. I'm gonna wish you all a good night. See you all next time. Take care. All you take care, Peter Webster,
Hi,
and
Peter.
yeah,
Peter.
guys. If you haven't, I haven't got my stream deck with me, so I can't post a link to Peter Webster's channel. But do a search on Lord Peter Webster. He does some really good unboxings. It's just like Christmas Day.
Yeah, I've got to watch the latest one.
Yeah, it's worth watching. It's funny that my view on unboxings, I'm not into straight unboxings. If I see an unboxing, I want to see the build. But because Peter Webster does unboxings of, it's not like he does model kits. If I just saw, I'm going to shoot myself in the foot here. A good example is that Peter Oxley. Peter Oxley, he does some really good unboxings, but he doesn't seem to build any of them. And if he was to build them, I won't mind watching the unboxings. Just my personal preference. I know unboxings do very well. And in my build series, as I do unboxings, but unboxings is video 1 of a series, and
Yeah.
then video 2 is the build. Because I do think it's important to show what's in the box. For example, the Hawker, it was a biplane, but very fast for the time. Right, gotcha. Flymo says everybody does, but watch for silly channel strikes if it does. Hi Flymo Chair 1. Hi Adam, good night. All John Alex says, hell yeah, get over to Peter. Yeah, I do like his channel. Night Peter. Flymo says it's been my nickname since early YouTube when it first started. Penny, I got you there. Right, okay. I'm glad I'm not saying people who do unboxings are crap channels. I just mean if that's all you do, I'm not interested, but I want to see varied content. Peter Oxley, if you, by some strange reason, you are watching my very small channel, I do love your channel, and I love Peter Oxley's rants. I can't verify the comments he's making, but he has a lot of passion, and it's the passion that comes through.
Yeah.
So when he's moaning about kits that don't fit properly, and I'm like, oh, and I'm almost angry with him. He's that passionate. And he starts, I wish I'd come up with this because I think it's one of the best channel openings. He says, like, hello, everybody. You are most welcome. And I think that's a really nice way to open a channel. Flymo says, good night, Lord Peter Webster. All the best. How do Smith's beads? And that is the chat caught up for probably about 2 seconds. Because you know what our channel, what viewers are like. Oh, chat's caught up. There we go. Yeah, it's Penny, isn't it? Yeah, that's me. Shall I put names on just for anyone that might be watching that don't know who we
Well,
are?
I'll be showing up as Penny Pit Stop. I'll have to change it.
Yeah, well, I've changed. Oh God, I definitely put my name correctly when I came in. I think you've done something. You done it, didn't you?
No, I can't do it.
Okay, right. Let me do some adjusting then. Let me do some adjusting.
Oh my God, I'm not called Penny, honest.
No, you're not.
That's funny. It did that the other night.
I did. I made the effort to make sure my name was right at the start of the show.
It did it last time we were live. What the hell does that say? I'm here to be what?
I'm sure she's up to something.
Yeah, why not?
Are you crafting Budgie Mama, or are you little
Budgie
something
Mama.
or another?
I got told I was Miss Little Tweety today.
Little Miss Tweety.
Little
That's
Miss
not an
Tweety.
awful name, is it?
No, I liked it.
Yeah, it's all right. What was I going to say? I don't
don't
know.
know.
Must have been a lie. I know what I was going to say about my channel name. So I started off as just my name, Penelope Blake. I still got that channel actually. Then I started this channel. I was doing figures at the time, so it was Paint with Penny. And then I realized I'm doing a lot more than just painting, especially I was doing part works. So I changed it to Penelope's Pit Stop, which is a play on Penelope Pit Stop.
Yeah.
For some reason, I changed it to Penny because people were calling out my channel and they couldn't pronounce Penelope.
Some people can't.
I know, and I'm like, did I do the right thing? Just because you pronounce it incorrectly, I change it to make it easier for you. So, but to be honest with you, I think most of my growth and most of the popularity that I have has come while I've been Penny's Pit Stop, and I think it would be difficult to change the name now.
Yeah, same as my name. I'm not changing it now.
Yeah, when I was debating to change it to Penelope's Pit Stop, another name that was in contention was 50 Shades of Purple. I really did like that name, but I think that one might have been a little bit too close to the bone and may possibly have attracted the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
Because obviously it was a little bit close to 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's but yeah, I think I am now Penny's Pit Stop, and I probably will be forever now. And I like the name because it's slightly informal. Having fun building stuff is more important than get it actually accurate. And I know that will probably stop me from getting the subscriber numbers that the really good modelers get, because some people want to see a really highly accurate done model, but then I've got to be true to myself, haven't I? I'm always, well, for at least now, I'm always going to be a fun builder.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this Corsair. I think I've got the wrong interior color. You can't see it because I'm not on that camera. I'm showing the wrong camera. There we go. It's most likely it is the wrong color. It's not the color call out from the instructions, but it doesn't look awful. And you know, the correct color has to be ordered, and it takes about a week to come. And I don't want, you know, I've been doing a week's worth of building in the time that the paint comes, and like I say, it doesn't look awful. And I'm happy. I have a smile on my face when I look at it. So that'll do me. And it's not like it's purple when it should be yellow, is it? It's just a different shade of green. And I may change, you know, as I'm always looking at trying new techniques that I've not used before. And once I start using these techniques, maybe I'll start looking at stuff that's a bit more accurate. And maybe I will turn into one of these stuffy, serious rivet counters one day. But for now, I'm just here to have a bit of fun.
Exactly.
Right. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. Right, so good night, Lord Peter. You're okay. Don't change a thing on my account. It was a craft live stream we met on. Do you know what's funny? I've got other interests outside modeling, and my watch list on YouTube reflects that. And I'll watch stuff, and then all of a sudden I've got a subscriber, and it's really. But this is what I say to you, Natasha. It's all about the networking.
Yeah.
So I mean, I got one. I watched Peter's brother. Is it Peter's brother? Spider. What, I can't remember his channel's called. Something to do with spiders.
Yeah.
And he popped in on my stream once, and I gave his channel a look, thinking because it's about spiders, I'll have no interest in it at all. But I looked at some of his titles and his thumbnails, and I thought, do you know what? Yeah, I'll give some of that a look. And he was live streaming yesterday with a couple of guests, unless he was a guest on someone else's show. And I just popped in and I said, hiya, I've just come to see some men talk about creepy things. And yeah, it's but yeah, I got a subscriber out of that. So it's just being in the right place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, still driving buses, Penny. I am. I'm in London right now. Driving buses, being paid far more than I'm worth. I don't mind admitting that. So you'll see me. I'll do 3 weeks in London, then I'll do when I go back to Scotland, I'll be back for a week for annual leave. And then I come back to London for 3 weeks, and I'm back to Scotland for 3 weeks, and then that just repeats. And I earn, I won't say bad money in Scotland, because compared to some people on minimum wage, I earn a very good wage in Scotland. But I've just got too many hobbies. That's why I don't earn enough money. And in London, I get paid rather well, but then I'm away from home. So it's all horses for courses, isn't it?
Mhm.
Flymo says, I have a bit of trouble with some words. Yeah, fair enough. Maybe I've just accidentally insulted you then by saying about the Penelope pit stop. MP says, I like the name Penny. Yeah, it probably is a better idea. It's a little bit less formal, isn't it? And everyone calls me Penny anyway. So John X says, it's wonderful, Penny. Please stay just as you are. I don't intend to change.
No.
MP says it's a zinc yellow chromite for the cockpit. Yeah, it's the color call out is let's see if I can find the instructions. The color call out is interior green H58 for Mr. Hobby color. And that translates to quite a yellowy green. So it's more yellow than green. It's not zinc chromate. It's actually is a green. Let's call it a green. But I don't really care. I like it, and I wouldn't have built this much if I had to wait for the correct color. So yeah, I just want to get on and build it. The exterior is the correct color because I haven't even looked at the color call out for the outside. And the reason for that is because I can't find the instructions. But anyway, whatever color it's come out, I've not even looked at it because I have a little book. Here it is. And the website is back up. I'm really, really happy. It's a website called I can't remember what the website's called, but it's back up and running. If you do a search on US Navy aircraft colors, they've got loads of resources. They've got RAF colors, and they do these little charts. Let me show you the one for the right. So this is one web page, but I printed it off as a book. And this is the post-war section. And then what they do is they give you a color call out for that era. And that is all the brands of the correct color to use. So the blue, it says glossy sea blue Anna 623. No paint company currently makes a post-war specific Anna 623. Most modeling paints attempt to match FS 15042. Do you understand FS, Tasha?
Oh, no.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. So what FS means, it's called Federal Standard. And the first color is the finish of the color. So you've got 1, 2, 3, which stands for gloss, satin, or matte. I can't remember which way is which. 5 is the color group. So 5s will obviously be blues, and then 2s might be greys, and then the 040 is the shade, and I think 000 is very, very dark, and 999 is very, very light. So by looking at an FS code, if you, as long as you can memorize the second digit, you can sort of tell what color it is. So you might have a 1. I don't know what a grey is. Let's call a grey 7. So a 17500 would be a middle grey. So it kind of and everyone goes then. That's called a standard. But 15042, which is the closest to the darker wartime shade, and would not look appropriate when compared with photos of U.S. Navy, U.S. Marine Corps aircraft from around the time of the Korean War. Only color codes makes a specific post-war version, although it is matched to FS 15042, which would seem incorrect. Tamiya XF17 is a poor match for the wartime shades. Looks like a better. So basically, it goes on. So what I now do is I refer to this book. So if I'm doing, I've just picked a page at random. Patrol schemes 1955 to current. So regardless of the color call out, you have seaplane green, seaplane gray, and let's find an easier one to work with. Right, there we go. So if I'm doing Cold War to Vietnam War 1955 to 1971, I will do the lower flaps insignia white,
Strawberries.
the upper flaps light gold. Who's strawberrying?
Me.
Okay. And then the rear will be international orange, and then I'll work out the color code that I want to use. Because they don't have AK Interactive 3rd generation, I tend to convert from the old AK Interactives. And it just then means that all of my aircraft are the same color from a certain era. The only time it gets really confusing and quite funny actually is the 1980s onwards. There's also a bit here for cockpits. So here we go. The F4U Corsair from 1941 to 54 should be black ? Or bronze green for the F4U1, interior green for the F4U1A, interior green and instrument black for the F4U1D, and then it gives you the color callouts for it. So interior green is Anna 611, which should be AK Interactive 2303, which then I need to convert to the new. And I might get really boring and technical now.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
I'm joking, but
No, it's all right. It's some people may find that interesting. Some may find it extremely boring. We've got to go with the majority here. I'm trying to find a really interesting one. I thought it was from the 80s.
Well, is there different ones? Is there?
Oh, they've now got a scheme based on the actual aircraft, not on the year.
Oh.
And I've gone and lost it now. Tactical paint schemes from 1980 onwards. No, that's not it. Oh, I lost it. Because I had all this written down in a spreadsheet. Because you know I love my spreadsheets.
Oh God, yeah, you love them.
I do love my spreadsheets. So what I can now do is, here we go. Tactical paint schemes from 1980 onwards. It tells you the cockpit upper, sides, and lower colours for the A4, the A6, A7, F4, the F4 used by US Marine Corps, F14 Scheme 1, F14 Scheme 2, FA18 Scheme 1 and FA18 Scheme 2, and the S3. And then finally, there's still widespread use of radome tan. And then it gives you a general scheme. So, and then you have to take into account that, like, that you had the paint scheme that went up to 1979, and then the paint scheme that started in 1980, but not all aircraft were painted at the same time. So, but what it means is that if I get an aircraft made by Humbrol of, say, an F-14, I will use the book for the exterior colours rather than the colour call-out guide by Humbrol. So anyway, I've just bored you all to death on that one, haven't I?
Don't worry.
So
Someone will soon say if you did.
Well, never know. I might just gain 25 subscribers by going through that list. Who knows? Flymo says, no worries, no offence. MP says it's named like that because it was a paint the Americans used to protect the paint in the fuselage. That's why it's zinc chromate. Flymo says, yes, I've heard of federal standards. I've forgotten a lot of the codes since my car painting days. Well, you're in luck, because I can actually have a look at my spreadsheet and I can tell you. Can I tell you? I can't. There you go. Color notes. Right. So the first number, 1 is gloss, 2 is semi-gloss, 3 is matte. The second digit, 0 is in the brown range, 1 is in the red, 2 is orange, 3 is yellow, 4 green, 5 blue, 6 is grey, 7 is everything else except for 8, which is fluorescent colours. 0 is the darkest, 999 is the lightest. So if I said 36500, that would be a medium matte grey. So there you go. That really was quite boring, wasn't it? Yeah, I wish I'd known that. It's a yellow with a mix of grey. And yet they call it green. I know. We'll take a yellow, we'll add a grey, and we'll call it green. That sounds like model manufacturers, doesn't it?
Yep.
That colour is used in cockpit Oh, I've done the right thing then. So I didn't know what colour to use for the landing gear bay. So I just took a punt. And you can't see it, but that is green. So I've gone for green for the inside, like the wheel wells, but I've gone for insignia white on the inside of the wing. You know where the wings fold, you get that bit in the middle. And the reason I've gone for the white in that one is because you've got this little bit at the back there that's white. You got the undercarriage legs is white, which is very common for US aircraft. And then I watched a YouTube video. I think I just put Corsair wing fold, and it's about a 2-minute video of a Corsair coming in, and it's at an air show, and it folds its wings, and it looks like it's all white on the inside. Incidentally, the actual aircraft in the video is the version of the Corsair that I'm not doing. I couldn't decide on the two versions, so I let Peter choose. And in all fairness, I was sort of 51% in favour of one and 49 in the other, and he went for the one I was 51 in favour of. Flymo says, Excel eludes me yet. Well, if you want any help, I could always try and help you. But yeah, it's, to be honest with you, a lot of Excel I'm self-taught. But I've always been good with calculations. My main skills came from Lotus Approach, doing databases. So kind of excelled was basic level was fairly natural for me, and then I've just learned. And there's so many resources out there for free on YouTube and the internet. You can just type in "how do I do whatever," and there'll be something that'll tell you.
I must just leave you with Mickey because she's enjoying listening to you right now.
Is she? Because she used to be into what was the music she liked?
Meatloaf.
It was something. That's it. I knew it was something like that. So I am comparable to Meatloaf, then, am I?
Well, if I move you away, she'll turn her head.
Really? Is that what? Like she's looking for listening for me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm honoured. I'm honoured. So not all. You're the one to talk to about the model paint. Well, I'm not the biggest expert. I listen to other people talking about paint, but I know a basic. I know the difference between red and yellow. But yeah, I know basics, like if you want to lighten a green, don't lighten it with white, lighten it with yellow, and the same with reds. But I don't know how to lighten blue. Is white the only? Because if you add white to a blue, you end up with a sky with a pastely blue, and that's not always what you're after. No, it's out there to know, Penny. And then Flymo says, yeah, white airframes. Yeah, that sounds right, doesn't it? And that is the chat caught up with. Hello, birdie. I'm going to put you on big because everyone loves a budgie, don't they? Hello, gorgeous. Now, if I did an impression of Shadow or Spirit, what would your bird do?
Probably jump around the cage.
What? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Bad.
Okay, I won't do it then.
Especially with this girl.
So what's budgie language for hello, how are you?
Try and tweet.
I don't know, I'm not very good at talking to birds. Hello. Hello. I think she's looking at me very strangely.
It's just how she sits. She's plonked her stomach right on her perch.
Is that a comfortable stance then?
Yeah.
But she's not on edge, is she?
No. And we got Minnie. You can't see her very well. She's having a bad molt.
Is she?
Yeah.
It's because you often have one who has a bad molt, don't you?
It's Mickey.
It's Mickey, is it?
And that's where she is. She keeps tweeting tonight, so I've had to stand here for the last God knows how long. And then she started staring at my phone as you were talking, so I faced it at her. Yeah, you happy now?
I am.
Are you happy now, Mickey? Can I go and sit down? He's like, nope, you can stand there, Mum, and I'll stare at the screen. But I'm going to go sit down. Good girl. She's turned her head now. There you go, you can take her full screen now.
Oh. Mike's just sent me the actual link to that article about the Guy Gibson's dog's grave, and it kind of makes a little bit of sense. In all fairness, the Councillor Melanie Newham said, "It's the last piece of heritage that we have left at Scampton. RAF Scampton is probably the most famous base in the whole of the UK. So to take that dog away would be an absolute disgrace, and I'm absolutely over the moon." I suppose seeing it from that point of view, you can kind of understand. But if they're getting rid of the base, are they getting rid of the base, or are they just using it for asylum seekers as well as an RAF base? Don't know if anybody knows that. Oh, man. So right. So MP says for light blues you can use light grey. Yeah, I suppose
Yes.
that would work, won't it? So
Yeah,
it won't
grey.
yeah, it won't work. It won't be so stark then, would it? And then Flymo has done a wave. I think you need to do the colon on the end as well to do that. Not that I'm an expert with emojis. Every time someone sends me an emoji, I end up replying back. What does that mean? Ooh, I've just Google sent me an article here. Hundreds of model trains go under the hammer. A Yorkshireman's collection of 300 model trains has gone under the hammer after never running on a track. Andrew Carmichael spent 50 years amassing the vast collection of locomotives, but was only interested in building them. After his death 9 years ago, his wife Evelyn said the models had been left undisturbed. However, due to her downsizing to a new property, she no longer had the space to store the collection. Instead, the models were, I thought they were going up for auction. So they went for auction and they fetched £8,000. Oh, sorry. The way I'd read the title, I thought it was going up, so I thought that'd be of interest. But obviously, do we really mind as much? And apparently, Avanti are going to be paying train drivers £600 a shift to work overtime. I'm in the wrong job, aren't I? I could be a train driver, then announce I'm going part-time, and then pick up a third day as overtime. Right. Well, I made a boo-boo earlier on. I thought I was smart, but not quite as smart as I thought. You know, last time we streamed, I said, I was hungry because I hadn't eaten, but now the stream started. It's too late to go and get food.
Yeah.
So this morning, I thought I'd be a little bit smart. One of the cereals that they offer is Weetabix, which they have little packs of them, packs of 2. So I picked up a little pack. And I thought, if I'm hungry, I can have them later on. And I've just come up and I thought, I'm a bit hungry. Trouble is, I didn't pick up a bowl, did I?
Oh God, just you.
Yeah. So I'm either going to have to wash out my my soup bowl from earlier, or run away and go and get one. So right, where are we? So we have got Ron Hettam. How are you, my good friend? Hi, Penny, Tasha, Dale, and all in chat.
Hey, Ron.
Right back.
Hey, Ron. Yeah, you'll be right back. It's fine. Wash hands is the only option using the keys. Yeah, that's some collection. I heard that the Jacobite trains, as well as other heritage trains, may get banned because of the ORR wanting central locking on all trains. Really? I would have thought heritage trains would have come under their own ruling, though. I understand some safety features, like if you saw a route master on the road, you'll see a lot more yellow warning signs than would have done in the old days, because they didn't need warning signs in the old days, did they? Hello, Rob, and hello, Dale. Rude of me not saying hello. And I think that is the chat caught up with. So, yeah, on the trains in London, we have to do all these weird announcements so that if an accident happened, the customer can't go, well, I didn't know that. We even have to put, there's one, if someone gets on with a pram, we have to press this button called buggy safety, and it says, for the safety of your children, please stand with your buggy at all times. And it's like, if we didn't play it and they fell over, or and people they'll put their buggy in the buggy section and they'll go and sit down at the back of the bus.
Yeah,
and then and I think that's quite bad, because why would you? But then we live in an era where baby's screaming at you because it wants attention because you've got your face in a phone.
Yeah.
And I would have thought if you had a baby, you would be wanting to give it attention. But obviously, that's another story, isn't it? About Scampton, there's a lot of issues. So you might know this, Ron. So is
Oh, looks like Benny's froze up. Well, hopefully she'll be back. Internet troubles by the look of it. We're still live anyway. Or it's showing us live. I don't know how reliable the internet access is in the hotel that she's staying in. Yeah, she'll be back, I'm sure. If not, me and Tasha will keep you entertained. Although my military knowledge is not as good as Benny's. That's all right. Yeah, I did. I did say I weren't sure how your internet was in the hotel. I've not got YouTube open. I'm watching another one. Well, it's still showing live in Streamlabs.
So I tried to take one out at a time, but I ended up taking everybody out there. Right. Yeah, go on back. Oh, there you go. I am caught up. Right, there we go. So we're back to normal. Tasha, you're
Hello.
back. Yeah, so I kind of disappeared and then came back again.
Did you?
Yeah, well, it's quite funny. I was watching Dale. Why have I called him Ron? I was
Dunno.
watching Dale, and Dale was like motionless,
Yeah.
and I went, Dale, have you frozen or are you just not moving? And he didn't respond. And then I looked at yours, and your little planetarium thing wasn't moving, and I thought, well, either both of you have got frozen internet or it's me. So I had a look, and on YouTube I was getting that buffering little symbol.
Yeah.
So I disconnected and reconnected the Wi-Fi. Because with the Wi-Fi in the hotel, about once every 24 hours, it asks you to put the Wi-Fi password in again.
Yeah.
Because I switch the computer off and go to work, it usually happens when I switch the computer back on. But I've had the computer on all day, and I might even have had it on all night last night. So that might be what it was.
Mm.
But yeah, it's all good in the end. All good in the hood.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just going to catch up, and then I'm going to run away for a couple of minutes and get some fresh air, and
Okay.
maybe cold as well.
Mm-hmm.
So up here, this space on the newer buses for mums and buggies to sit. I'd like to see that. What area is that in Flymo then? Flymo says, a low battery maybe. Thumbs, you got this. You got this. Right, chat caught up with. I'm going to disappear and go and get a bowl for my Weetabix.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you chit chat away, and I will see you shortly.
Okay. We'll do. We'll talk about you, but not to you.
Oh, I'm totally hard to eat the bits and all.
I don't know if I could. I've just eaten a couple of chocolate bars and just like, nah. Don't want no lights on at the minute. Like
Yeah,
lights.
I had a couple of slices of toast just before I come on.
Oh, did you?
I'm gonna have to get something proper though in a bit.
I just went to my carer before. I went, nope, don't want nothing to eat.
Yeah.
She goes, that's been you nearly all down. I went, yeah, not feeling 100%.
Well, if you're not in the mood for food, you don't want to be forcing it down. You just have something light.
Yeah, so I eaten a couple of clubs.
Yeah.
I thought that's sugar. That'll shut my body off.
Yeah, I can't manage without sugar.
I've tried cutting down sugar in my coffee. Yeah, can't do it. I've tried decaf from 4 o'clock onwards for a couple of weeks. Could not stick to it. It tastes weird.
Decaf, you need to spend money and get a decent one. I have Law. Have you ever heard of that one? Bloody expensive, but it's nice.
Yeah, my favourite is Carte Noir, and that's bloody expensive.
Yes, it's a similar sort of style to that.
Yeah, I like that. That's my favourite coffee. That is. That's when once in a blue moon I treat myself to that coffee because it's so damn expensive.
Tesco's and them used to have it on offer.
Mm,
About £2.50, £3 for a big jar.
yeah,
Nearly £9 a jar now.
yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've had people complain that I've got cheap coffee, and so I went, well, you go and buy your coffee then.
Yeah.
My lattes, well, that's a different matter. I like the best of them because I've got to have my vanilla. But then I run out of my syrup to put in my coffees. So I'll have to get some more of that at some point. I do put vanilla in my coffee, and that stops me having sugar. It's well strange.
Yeah, I have to fancy something like that. I normally get the sachets in for anything like that. Like
I do get the occasional sachets, but I just get the vanilla syrup and stick it in my coffee.
Yeah.
That's if I want to be more lazy.
So I think if I got round to it, bit time I got round to using the toilet, I've probably gone out today.
I am exactly the same, Natasha. I tried reducing sugar and I can't drink decaf. Nope, nor can I. I just can't do it. I tried a couple of weeks. Oh, drink decaf from 4 o'clock at night. No. Tried it for a couple of weeks and I can't stick to it.
Coffee don't keep me awake anyway. I think I've got it flowing through my veins that much. Same with energy drinks. Don't affect me one bit.
Ron, are you in green room? That's your poo bum. No, you're not in green room. You can join Ron and wait till we get into green room. No worries, I can get you in. Or use admin over here. Fanciest I get is mixing gold blend with the red top Nescafe. Never tried mixing.
I don't mind a bit of gold blend. I'm not keen on the original Nescafe though.
No, I don't like the original. Mickey, this is the third time you're getting me up.
Yeah, not seen you all day.
Oh, man. Up and down, up and down.
I see you. So I've just seen someone in what I think is the worst outfit possible. When people wear camouflage trousers and a high-vis jacket, what message are you trying to send?
What's the matter, my girl? Let me mute.
That on Facebook earlier.
Yeah. People actually do it. It's real.
I think the caption was "Make your mind up" or something like that.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, sorry, mate, I didn't see your legs, but I did see your body. Sorry, back in a sec. I just need to wash a spoon. They run out of spoons downstairs.
Hi, Miss Mickey, what's up? This is the third time you've got me in. What's up with my girl? Hey?
Sorry, does anyone have an objection to me eating Weetabix?
No.
I think Weetabix is not so much a breakfast cereal, it's more something that you eat at night when you're hungry but you can't decide what you want.
Yeah, I was just saying that it's my go-to munchies.
Yeah.
But I ain't going in at the moment. I've just got porridge.
Oh, nice. Cool. Years ago, I used to make. I sit at home on computer all day on Saturday, and what I used to do, I used to make the porridge extra thick, put it into a loaf tin, and let it set, and I just eat slices of it.
I love you. Yes, I do. can you go to bed now and stop tweeting?
I assume you're talking to the birds and not to us.
No, talking to my lovely girl who's just got me up for the third time of the evening.
So, don't know where you're up to on the chat, but
Done most of it up until LOL. And I can't remember what that was about.
okay. I will just quickly whiz through it there. I'm exactly the same, Natasha. I tried reducing sugar and I can't drink decaf. I actually like decaf coffee.
Can't do it. I tried
I
for
do
2
drink
weeks.
decaf at night and in the afternoon. Penny about Scampton, that is a conversation for another time in the green room. Well, you're always welcome in the green room, you know that. The fanciest I get is mixing gold blend with red top cafe, Nescafe. Whoa, you're pushing it there, mixing your drugs there, aren't you? It's a nice blend. I'm not keen on Nescafe anymore. I've switched over to Kenko because for a while you were getting good offers on Kenko, and I think it's a decent enough coffee. Fimo says hello, Penny. LOL. No, hang on. Yeah, there we go. LOL.
Good girl.
MP says just finished now my framework for the ZIL 157 Russian command truck in 1 to 72. Oh, that's little, isn't it? See, MP is one of these talented modelers in smaller scale. I can make 1 to 72 scale, but not to the standard I can do 1 to 48. Flymo says that's a very old way of eating porridge, Penny. It was put in a drawer and slices were cut from the drawer. Do you know what? I love you guys because I acknowledge that I'm a little bit weird in some of the things that I do, but then I talk to you guys and I realize I'm not abnormal. I'm actually quite normal, or there's reasons for things. So it's great. Thank you very much. I'm not weird. I'm going to rest. Have a good night, Penny, Dale, Natasha. Take care. You take care, MP, and thank you very much for your input. It really is appreciated.
Night, MP.
Very knowledgeable.
Yes.
Very knowledgeable.
I don't understand why he has so few subs on his channel. For the amount of knowledge and skill that he doesn't have enough subs.
Yeah.
Having said that, I've not looked at his subscriber count. MP model. Doesn't help when you've got things piled up on your keyboard. It makes it very hard to type. Right, if you type MP model in, it comes up with quite a lot of results. So I'm just going to have to filter it. There we are. Yeah, he's got 155 subscribers.
Yeah.
For the skill that he has and the information that he has, that is a disgustingly low number. So I think we need to just post a link. I know that the number of viewers I have today isn't going to significantly increase his subscriber count, but it might help. So, but yeah, guys, go over and have a look at his channel. He's got some really good stuff. He does some really nice lives. I do like his live buildings. And he did a series before. I thought he was shooting himself in the foot with this, but he actually lets his viewers decide on the color schemes of his aircraft.
Yeah.
And they come out a little bit funky sometimes, don't they? Is that a fair word to say? You like the word funky, don't you, Tasha?
Yeah, like my Venom Groot, he's funky. Best Dad loved that when he showed it on stream this afternoon.
What, funky or the Groot?
Venom Group.
Yeah, does that come from something, or is it just someone went, I know, let's do a Venomy group?
Yeah, basically. So he quite liked it when he showed the pictures. He shows the gallery every week, once a week I think it is, of people's work or
No,
what
when
they've
he
been
does
up
the
to.
gallery, does he do the music?
No.
Do 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 do.
No, not in the live, no.
Because that is the gallery music. Are you old enough to remember that, Dale?
Yeah.
Heartbeat.
Yeah.
And now it's time for the gallery. Now it's time to see your works in the gallery. Do 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 do.
No, he doesn't do the music, he just shows off the gallery in the group.
Yeah, that's fair enough. What was I watching this morning? I can't remember who it is, but there's a live show, and I do like that. I didn't take part in the sprue or false today because what they do is they show a piece of something or a piece of a picture or one piece on a sprue, and you have to guess the manufacturer scale and what the model is. And I've stopped taking part because I just embarrassed myself on it. I'm that bad. I actually give myself a little pat on the back if I get 1 out of 3.
I would get none out of none.
Well, you may not. If you listen, to be honest with you, a lot of times it's like a bit of a game of mastermind. You know, when you used to do the colours and you get like so many are correct and so many are right, but in the wrong place. And it's a little bit like that. If everyone's guessing 1 to 72, so they might say like 1 to 72 trumpeter Spitfire, and then they'll say two out of 3.
Yeah.
So then you might say 1 to 72 trumpeter Hurricane, and then they'll say 2 out of 3. So then it probably is a trumpeter 1 to 72, but not Spitfire or Hurricane. So it's a little bit like a game of mastermind as well. But no, it's all good fun. So Flymo says 107 videos on MP's channel, very good. And Flymo says, I remember. So have I just inadvertently said, are you old? And Flymo's just gone, yes, I'm old as well.
I'm getting there.
No, well, I think you're as old as you feel.
Okay,
I went through
I'm
a
98.
phase. I was doing quite a few things that was probably more associated with people younger than me, like playing football in my late 30s. And then I was lodging at a friend's house. We have everybody just sit down and wait. We have got, drum roll please, Ron.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi,
Ron.
Ron.
How are you?
I invited
I'm
him
alright.
to come on.
Yeah, well, I decided to come and irritate you now, you see.
No,
Yeah, I'll
that's
do
fine.
it back.
So do I get my exclusive look now at your Osprey? I absolutely love that aircraft. And I wish I could build as quickly as you. Actually, I ain't done too bad today. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Is that the one where you get the options with the wing position and the rotor position?
Yeah.
Look at those seats. Oh.
Yep.
Do you know what? I'm going to go home and start on my Greyhound. I'm just going to go now, sod the next 2 weeks of work.
Then also got the control panel as well.
Nice.
Done quite a bit as well with the seats there ready to be mounted in as well.
So how much of a researcher are you with regards to things like the instrument panels and...
Very much so. I do my 100%.
Right.
I go literally to the limit of saying what do I want and how do I want it.
Right. So I better not show you my Corsair cockpit then.
Oh, well, I mean, it's not a problem.
No, I've done mine out of the box.
Oh, yeah.
but I've done mine. What I've added is I think it makes it look a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
So tell you what, I'll take the side off so you can see it. Look at that engine.
That's all right. There's
Yeah,
nothing
but
wrong with
look,
that.
I spent hours on that, and look what
Yeah.
happens when I put the engine cowling on.
I know. Tell me something I don't want to know.
I know it makes me sad.
It does. I cannot disagree with that at all.
So there's my instrument panel, and I just put red dots in just to make it look a bit interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's the
And
thing. And then what you can do to make it really like shiny as such is probably put a bit of PVA glue in it.
that's what I've done. Well, I put gloss varnish in just on where the
No.
glass might be,
Yeah.
probably.
No.
But
Whatever you
I'm
want in
thinking
check.
about putting a wash over the top because I think, given
Yeah.
that I've done all that weathering in the cockpit,
Yeah.
those panels look a little bit bright, don't they?
Yeah. A
So
little bit.
I don't know. I haven't decided yet,
Yeah.
but I'm doing the happy builder attitude. I'm happy. This
Good.
makes me happy.
Well, that's the
So
thing. It's just what makes it makes you feel good at the end of the day. That's the whole
I'm
thing
just
about it.
I am enjoying this. I really am. I've
Yeah.
made 3 videos on it so far. 1 unboxing, 2 build, and I don't want to make the videos. I just want to get on and build it because I'm enjoying it that much. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm having fun.
I started putting on the bottom bits as well.
Nice, I do love that. Because I've seen an Osprey built by one of the big YouTube builders.
Right.
I can't remember if it's the Italiari version or I don't even know if there is another version.
I think it's hilarious as far as I know. Let's have a look in your I'll have a look in your mobile phone. Um,
How you doing, Ron?
yeah, I'm doing all right, mate. Not more to complain yourself.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Oh, good.
How you doing, Dale?
I'm all right. I'm just entering some
All the others.
competitions on another live stream. Try and win a printer.
I'm just going to see now.
Right, where are we? Right. No, Vision On, Penny. Yeah, no, the theme was originally Vision On, but it was used in Heartbeat. Obviously, I'm not really old, so I know it as Heartbeat, but I do know it was Vision On as well.
It's only. Sorry.
That was the song Vision On. Do you know the song that I use for my titles?
Yeah.
It is actually the song. I think it's called Left Bank 2 or something like that. But it was the theme from Vision On. But more my generation would know it as Tony Hart's Gallery.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, with Morph. MP says, thank you very much for your support, Penny. Very appreciate it. Just speaking my mind. I just do honestly believe that your channel has way too few subs for the quality of the channel.
Yeah.
As you go and make a 1/72nd scale as a matter of interest.
Say that again.
As you go and makes a 1/72nd.
Yeah, but you see now, why would you want the 1/72 scale when
Exactly.
you get a 1/48?
Yeah, because mainly the thing is that with the itself, the Osprey is basically made by Italeri, so
Yeah. Flymo says hello, Ron. David says hello, Ron.
yeah, I said hello to everyone in chat.
Yeah, and Flymo says I did a Dapol kit Dewey 060 shunter and did up the cab with a bit of colour in the dials. different
Yeah.
coloured levers. I also glazed it. I don't know what a dapole kit is. I know what an 060 is, and I know what a shunter is. Because I think trains are numbered by their wheel configuration.
Yeah.
So we'll have an 060 will have 6 wheels. Is it 6 wheels on each side that are all the same size? If it had, for example, an extra set of wheels at the front, I think it's 3 wheels it'll have. So that gives to 6 wheels, 3 on each side. If it had a smaller set of wheels or a larger set of wheels at the front, it would be a 260. That's my very limited knowledge of trains.
Yeah,
I suspect.
Dapole, there's the kit manufacturer.
Right. So are these one of those trains that you have to build, unlike the Hornbys where you just buy the train and away you go?
I'm not sure if Dapole actually do a pre-built,
Right.
or if they are kits.
I don't know. See, again, trains isn't the only train I've ever tried to build was an Italiari one, which if you've watched my channel, you'll see that I did get going, and then the whole build got ruined because a certain little kitten, being a kitten, decided to jump up on my modelling desk, and it all went everywhere. Which was it's one of those, am I angry or not?
Yeah, oh, you're angry enough to try to turn
I
up
was
the
angry because I lost the kit, but I wasn't angry because the kitten was just being a kitten.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Can I be angry at a kitten?
Not really, I don't think so.
But again, it helped because obviously knowing what the cats are like, I know how to sort of more cat proof the desk. The new desk, I have to make sure they can't get behind it because they knock the plug socket, and when they knock the plug socket, everything on the desk just goes off with no warning.
Yeah.
It's like at half a second's notice, I'm now streaming to a empty monitor. Dominic says, "Evening, Penny and team."
Hey, Dom.
So Flymo says, right, fair, right enough, Penny. I forgot about Heartbeat. Of course, the beginning of the Hardman Studios and Wallace and Gromit with a zoo animal. I don't remember that. I'm gonna have to look that up there. Teresa says, "Hi, Flymo and Ron." So yes, Penny, just 6 wheels total on an 060, usually shunters. There you go. I'm quite pleased with myself now for knowing that. Hello, Teresa at Teresa Smith. Sorry, just been on the phone to a friend. She's phoned a friend. Do you need a 50-50 or ask the audience? To boldly go says, "Hi everyone."
Evening.
MP says, "I send a photo of dapole locomotives on Facebook." You're supposed to be going, MP. Not when people say I've got to go. It doesn't mean alert, but I do appreciate the photo. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. So that's what he's just sent me. I don't know if you'll see it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I can't get the focus, but that's nice.
Yeah.
That is nice. I'm going to have to do some trains now, aren't I? Model trains.
Most of the trains I've got are 040.
040.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Just 2 wheels on each side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dapole do kits and pre-builts. I've got a 121 bubble car. Some lovely models they turn out other than single carriage. Ooh, now you got me thinking.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they did the pre-built ones as well.
Yeah, Dapole kits. And then I presume you've got to paint all up, and then you could start doing your own locomotive schemes, couldn't you? Well, you could with pre-built anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I can see a little loft layout coming up.
The one guy you should be asking that is possibly Lord Peter.
Right.
He would know
No,
majority of
no,
it.
no, 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 no. Never speak to Peter about anything because otherwise you get a big parcel come through the post.
Yeah.
No, Peter, I'm not speaking to about that. But no, I'm just thinking now you could possibly see a loft layout with penny rail running through.
Yes.
Big purple locomotives with penny rail written on them. You got me brain going now. Teresa says, hi, Dominique. Flymo says, yeah, Morph was the beginning of that. What was the other one? Morph's friend, was it Chad? Chaz?
He was a grey one, wasn't he?
Yeah, I'm going to have to look him up. I'm sorry, guys. One of those questions that I can't function until I know the other. I know the answer. Morph and Chaz. It was Chaz. Yeah, because he had that weird voice, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was like he was on something. Francis Adams says, hi all. How are you, Francis?
Hi, Francis.
And then Flymo says, wave. Teresa says 50-50, please. Hi, TBG. Flymo says, very nice. Mine was a diesel one, but it's still an 060 diesel.
There you go.
Oh, nice. Hang on a sec, Dale. Nice. K and GR, that would be Kent and Gravesend Railway.
Let's see in GR. It's just my camera's out.
Oh, all right then.
Focus ENGR, I think
E&G, that'd be Eastern and Greater Railway.
Yes, I believe it
That's
is.
good, wasn't it? Do you know what? I used to have a book about Britain's railways, and it had a little chart in the back. It listed every single railway company ever, and it told you how the company was formed and what happened to it.
Yeah.
So you could trace like the Norwich and Hingham Railway Company, and they were bought out by the Norwich Railway Company, and then they were bought out by LNE, or they became LNER, and LNER then became. But it only goes as far as British Rail, and then but anything beyond British Rail, you can get that information on the internet.
Yeah.
All right.
It was a really good book, but I lost it and I can't remember the exact title. And if I ever find it, I don't care how much it costs, I'm buying it because it was brilliant. I'll tell you how good it was. It was actually borrowed from the library book, from the library, and I didn't return it in time, and they were fining me. And in the end, they sent a letter through saying your fine is now. They converted it to a lost book charge, and it was, and I just looked at it and went, worth it, and I didn't return the book. It was something like 30-40 quid, but I think if a book is relevant, is good information, it doesn't matter what the cover price is it?
Oh yeah.
David Markey says, hello, James. MP says, you have picture of N scale of the depot. Really? That was good quality for something small. Francis says, doing okay. Flymo says, yeah, I can't remember the name, but I know he gets squashed a lot. That's right. Yeah, Chaz does get squashed. I think they both get squashed, don't they?
No.
But it's okay because they're made of plasticine and they can fit through small gaps and things. Teresa says, hi, Francis. Flymo says, it is a private owner's loco at Ron's modelling group, like Cadbury has theirs and the NCB. Ah.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And that is the chat caught up for about 4 seconds.
Yeah. Penny, regarding Scampton, I'll talk to you in the green room about it.
Yes, yeah. Well, I want to end the stream now, just so you can talk to me about Scampton in the green room. Oh, MP sent me another picture, has he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's still really good. That is an N scale train.
Nice.
Yeah, tiny.
That is.
Yeah.
Is N scale about half of HO?
Yeah, Brett is
Right.
easy.
What's the difference between HO
It's about quarter of the scale, I think.
and is it really?
I think it's that, yeah. I think
N
that's it.
scale is roughly half the size of HO scale at 1 to 160th ratio.
Yeah, that's right.
Modelers tend to use N scale to build more complicated layouts in smaller spaces than HO,
Yeah.
or they can use large spaces such as garages or basements to create scenic N scale empires, using the size to create a lifelike but small scene.
Yeah.
Oh, do I look at this one? You know, when you Google something, it then comes up with some questions.
Yeah.
Which is better, HO or N scale? And the first sentence, I think, is a very good one. It depends on your circumstances.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, if you had a big enough space, you wouldn't build N scale or HO scale. You'd build those little miniature ones that you can sit on that goes around the garden, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flymo says, my daughter is taking me over to a book signing for Derek Landy's Skullduggery Pleasant latest release in April. You're going to have to explain just about every single word of that apart from my daughter and book signing. That's all I... Oh, and April. I know what April means.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a signing. It's about a signing.
Yeah, I know what book signing is.
Yeah.
So who's Derek Landy? What does he tend to write? Is it fiction, non-fiction? Should I just Google it? Flymo says, well, I respect the N-scale modelers so much in 16.5 millimeters and 9 millimeter. 009 fits N-scale track. 009 is like the narrow gauge and scale to 00 gauge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Flymo says, if only I could, Penny. I think that's a very polite way of saying, bloody look it up yourself. So what about a small scale railway, like the Garden Railway, in HO scale?
You could do.
How's that? So I could build an HO scale house and garden, and then put a garden railway around it.
You could.
Working, of course. It'd have to be working. Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start. No, I do know where to start. I'd buy a Metcalf cardboard house in HO scale, and that'd be the house.
Won't we make a couple of nice ones as well?
Well, I've seen, I don't know if they're cheap or not, but you can buy a bag of bricks, scale bricks from Temu.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can, yeah.
So, but I don't know if they work out about 50p a brick, which is about what it costs to buy a real brick, isn't it?
Yep.
I don't know. Because I bought a load of bricks myself for my one diorama.
So is that like plasticky kit, or is that a cardboard one?
Cardboard, Metcalf.
Right. So that looks quite solid.
Yeah, it is. They're a good kit if you don't butcher them.
Yeah.
If you don't butcher them. I don't know. The only cardboard kits that I've done before are found some plans on the internet. You print them off on good quality card, cut them out, and I was doing like a roller coaster. But I'm thinking about doing one because I found one for free, the Rover's Return, and I just thought I got to, haven't I? And you just print the kit out, just print it out on cardboard and just cut it.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got JC Bricks in the house.
Hey, JC.
Hey, JC.
Hey, Dale, Tasha, Ron, and all in chat. And then MP says, like HOE is the straight line can run in 9mm end scale. I'll be honest with you. If you explain trains to me, you are talking to an absolute novice. Maybe we should have a stream one day. Whereas this one is Penny teaches novice how to make scale planes. Maybe we should have one MP teaches a complete idiot about model railways.
No comment.
They call them the short lines in high levels in mountains. JC Brick says sent PM Tash. Oh, now we're all interested. Or are we? So Fimo says N gauge is 2mm, O gauge is 4mm, and double O gauge is 4mm, and O gauge is 8. Yeah, doesn't HO or O? Right. So this is my not very broad knowledge. HO and OO is very, very similar. OO is more American, and HO stands for half O gauge. There's a few gauges and scales, and OO gauge and H. Oh, there we go. I didn't read the rest of the comment. HO gauge and HO and OO and HO are close in scale and use the same track usually.
Yeah.
And then Flymo says, yeah. Oh no, I'm talking trains again. Listen, this is a hobby stream. You can talk about anything hobby. Obviously, certain hobbies would be excluded. The hobbies that are frowned upon would be excluded. But yeah, basically, so HO is 1 to 86 and OO gauge is 1 to 76. And now I know why they do 1 to 76 scale in Corgi.
Yep.
Now I know. Because I thought they did 1 to 76 scale because they did 1 to 76 scale. That was just what they did. Because I found out 1 to 72 scale, the reason it's 1 to 72 is it makes a 6-foot man 1 inch. And back then they used inches. So a 1 inch man. So then obviously 1 to 144 scale is half of that. 1 to 288, blah, 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 whatever. But 48 scale isn't quite double 72, is it?
No.
So where did 48 come from?
I'm not sure, to be quite honest.
And who was it who had some channel I was what? Oh, it was a new channel, really big, really good channel. I can't remember his name, but he was saying about the debate between 1 to 32 and 1 to 35 aircraft models.
Yeah.
So just out of interest, where do you two stand on that? Don't both jump in at once. It's fine.
148, 130, 132nd is quite big. Even the 124th is quite big as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of doesn't 1.5 dozen the rest.
See, I can understand 1 to 35 scale aircraft. because they've been. I don't know where they got the idea to do 1 to 35 scale tanks.
My camera will go blank for a little while. I'm just going to check something out.
Yeah, not a problem. But as far as I'm concerned, 1 to 35 scale tanks is the norm.
Yeah.
So if you're a diorama builder, then 1 to 35 scale aircraft now makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, who's that? Is that Tasha's just left and come back?
I don't know.
Knock, knock.
Oh, yes.
What's the
Yeah, I
password?
fell out. Phone's being weird.
Well,
It's
if you
heating
keep
up.
doing that to me, we'll fall out. Right, let's tell you what, let's take the names off and then there'll be no confusion.
Yeah, because I'm Penny again.
Yeah, well, I can't see anything wrong with being Penny. I mean, I think it's a cool thing to be myself, but I never had a problem with it. Yeah, so why don't they then do tanks in 1 to 48 scale? And why do they have 1 to 35 scale?
No idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. I mean, I think they do 148 scale tanks.
Do they?
Yeah.
That is so weird. Why has Ron got a play button on his screen, on my screen?
Because I'm testing something, madam.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
mind.
Because I got a play button on my screen, so I want to press it. So I'm like,
Why have you got a play button?
yeah, that's what
Why
I
don't
want. I want a play button.
You've confused me now. I think Flymo's just given us the answer earlier on, but I'll go all the way back to the last bit of chat I caught. JC Brick says, "Hey Teresa, MP model plastic whose claims he had to go ages ago says HO is 1 to 87 scale. Flymo says HO is 1 to 86 and no gauge is 1 to 7. Yeah, it's hardly any difference there, is there? Yes, I've seen the Corgi cars and trucks on layouts. MP says HO is the same size but runs in a straight line because the radius curves are more small, very tight. And then like Z scale is 1 to 220 and runs in 9mm track of N scale. Blimey, we're getting really technical here, aren't we? Flymo says, yeah, and 1 to 50 scale next to 1 to 48. Is it from metric to imperial? That would certainly make a lot of sense. Because like someone asked me earlier on, they wanted a conversion from millimeters to inches. I can't remember what it was, but it came out at 3 decimal places in inches. Yeah. Well, you couldn't measure that with a ruler, could you? So the only thing I could really say was cut it slightly too long, trim it down to the exact size, and then that plank, use that as a template for the others. But I think that's a carpentry trick, isn't it? You cut one length of wood to the exact measurement and you're trimming it and whatever, and then you use that as a template. JC Brick says HO is 1 to 87, not 86, and OO can be 1 to 76 and 1 to 72. There is 1 to 48 scale tanks. Tamiya do them. Now I'm tempted to have a look. Tamiya builds tanks in 1 to 48 and other stuff. It's the sort of thing my brother would know if we got on. Oh, bless. I don't like to see sibling fallouts, but having said that, I really do not like my stepbrother.
I'm going to go out and then come back in again.
Yeah, not a problem. We might let you in. We haven't decided yet.
Okay, we'll survive that then.
Flymo says, yeah, my bad, 1 to 87, thank you. Saying that, though, is there much difference between 1 to 86 and 1 to 87? See, I like to use the word about and approx, and then I'm not wrong then, am I?
Yeah.
It's about 1 to 90 scale-ish. Hello,
I'm gonna have to
James.
go, Penny, because my phone's boiling.
Yeah, not a problem.
It's on charge, so
I'm probably going to end the stream soon anyway, because it's starting to push a little bit late for us UKers. I had a late night last night, 1:30.
wow.
But I could do it last night. Right. Oh, did you just bring Ron in and I did at the same time?
Yeah. I've got a button I can press.
Yeah, no, it's
buttons
always
here.
funny when that happens. I saw Ron, so I went show the stream, and then obviously Tash has done it as well.
Yeah.
So you ended up in and out. Right.
Yeah.
So look, I'll tell you what then. If you're gonna have to go, if Dale and Ron doesn't object, I'm gonna finish the stream now.
Yeah, I don't mind at all. Yeah, it's been a good stream.
Yeah. It's been fun given we haven't done what we originally intended to do.
Just say again, Tash, before you run off, that actually works.
Does it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what you need to get your phone on, love. And guess what?
And an ice pack as well. Well, look, when our phone's overheating.
It's because I'm on StreamYard, you see. It starts overheating when the battery gets low and you got to charge it at the same time.
I heard someone say something about if they're using Wi-Fi or something, it overheats the phone or something, or uses the battery quicker.
Not as far as I know.
No, it's something that someone said on Got Fuel stream yesterday, which I found quite interesting.
The only time my phone seems to heat up is if I want to charge my phone at the same time as StreamYard. Then it gets burning. Yeah. It's hot in my hand at the moment.
Yeah. Well, look, when I get back to Scotland, I'll be sending you a webcam. It's not a top of the range webcam. It's be the same one that you're looking at me through right now, so it's quite adequate. And then you can start using your laptop.
Yes.
And then actually what you can do is I'll try and see if I can stretch to one of these boom arms. So you can put your camera on the boom arm and then use your camera. I mean, I don't know what yours is like, but if I was to use my built-in camera, it would look something like this.
Yeah.
Don't know, I've not tried it.
Well, the only thing I don't like about my camera is it's fixed. So if I want to move that camera, I've either got to tilt the bit or move it side to side.
That's what I've got to do with mine.
Yeah. Whereas with this camera, no, not that camera. That's the one on the boom arm. With this camera, if I want to move it, I just move the camera.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. But if you can set your laptop up so it's in just the right position for you to chit chat, and then you've got your overhead camera, and then you'll find operation of Melon so much easier because you've got more of a screen for it.
Yeah.
Because I know you struggle with that, don't you?
Yeah, it's all in bloody German right now, so I'm guessing.
Do you know? Are you in German? Because mine hasn't gone in German once today.
Mine not unless I've one of them, innit? Everything's in German. Right, what's this button for? So I'm just clicking on them. And I can't change it back to English.
No, but it's a lot easier if you use a laptop. Right, I'm going to do a chat. I can never say that.
I'm just going to go, Penny, if that's all right.
All right, then. Take care, Tash. Yeah, lovely having you.
And you too. Bye.
Oh, Dale, I think that's the first time I've seen you.
It might be. It's not very often I show face. But...
No, you don't often, do you? That is a very good beard, though.
That's
quite impressive.
No,
that is a knowledgeable and wise man beard.
Yes.
Right, I'm going to catch up on the chat so that no one's wasting their key pressers, and then I'm going to finish the stream. So Flymo says yes, the old Triag and Hornby Dublo was 1 to 72, if I remember right. MP is
so, yeah.
definitely going
Yes.
now. I'm going night.
Yeah.
And then Flymo says, yeah, I was going to say I have to get off. No sleep through the night and woke all full of flu. Oh, bless you.
Oh,
Well, sleep will help with flu, among
yeah.
other things.
Mhm.
And I've just completely lost the chat there. Full of flu. Flymo, thanks for having me in. Absolutely anytime,
Yeah,
Flymo.
you're welcome, buddy.
Maybe we'll get to see you on the stream one day.
Hmm.
Flymo says, good night, folks. And then waves and whatever that means. Exclamation mark, colon, uppy, close bracket. Yeah, see you, Tash. Night, Tasha. And that is the chat. So, either one of you want to say goodbye first, and then I'll
Bye.
close the show. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a Ron goodbye. That is bye. Right, guys. So, I've got to double check with Tasha. I think our next stream is going to be Saturday. It was going to be Sunday, but they've asked me to change my shift. So I'm now
Again.
got Saturday off. Yeah, they always ask me to change
Oh,
shift. I'll be honest with you, it doesn't bother me when I work, just as long as I get the days off. And
Yeah.
Sunday is Easter Day, and apparently it's a lot less busy on a Sunday. It's money for nothing when you work things like Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
And then obviously being Saturday, it's a day before Easter. I won't be gorging chocolate, will I? Far too early for the Easter eggs. Right, guys. So thanks ever so much for everyone who took part. Thank you very much for those that just watched. Your support is as appreciated as anybody else's. But also thank to my 3 panelists, Tasha, Dale, and Ron. Take care, guys. See you again.
Bye.
Bye.